after lots of early morning workouts and sweaty afternoon practices over the summer, finally time to get after it on the field tonight as high school football starts in North Central Florida. We're happy to once again bring you the Allen Law Firm Friday Night Rivals presented by Radiant Credit Union. Hi everybody, Jeff Cardozo here with you. Happy to be alongside the All-American and pitmaster himself, Shannon Snell. Randy Reinhardt will roaming the sidelines here in Chiefland as the Indians will take on the Williston Devils tonight. Some storms coming through right before we got things going. Almost had to postpone the start of Friday night football. But we are ready to go, and we are ready to take a look at our recipe for success for tonight's game. Brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since 1968.
Yeah, Jeff, so tonight we have Williston. Listen, they got to run. They got to run the football, run, Forrest, run. That's going to be their bread and butter. That's what they do really well. And be unpredictable on offense. That's what they have to do. Do something unconventional. Run this wishbone offense that they normally run, and really just kind of get after this Chiefland front four. And for Chiefland, keep your emotions in check. This is a home crowd. This is a rivalry game. Things are going to happen. Keep your emotions in check. No personal fouls. You don't need to see those. And play assignment football. We talked about that kind of wing tee offense that Williston runs, and tonight they're going to see a lot of it. Play assignment football, tackle the guy with the ball, and that's what's going to happen.
Well, a lot of good players once again, so the keys to tonight's game, a couple of big ones, Shannon.
Yeah, we're talking about running the ball for Williston. Number 22, Jamari Williams. He's a senior. He's the senior guy in that backfield. Breaks off a lot of runs. He's a guy that can take it the distance if necessary. So if you're looking for a guy that can really take it the distance tonight, look out for him. And for number for number 10, just make sure you for Chiefland, Austin Jones, he's going to be the last line of defense. He's going to be the guy that really has to make the tackle if things get past that second level. If they do, he makes a tackle. They have a good shot of stopping this Williston offense tonight.
All right. We are just about ready for kickoff. We'll take a break, come back, give you starting lineups in the opening night of college football when we come back.
All right, Shannon Snell's mic, Shannon Snell's mic, Shannon Snell, Shannon Snell, Shannon Snell, Shannon Snell, Shannon Snell, test. Talking on Shannon Snell's. Snell's mic, Shannon Snell's mic, Shannon Snell's mic, test. Shannon Snell's mic. Shannon. Yep, it's that XLR. All right, stand by. I'm bypassing the mixer. Does this work better? Test. Test. Okay. Confirmed that XLR. Stand by.
To Randy. Okay. Sounds good. Can he hear in this headset?
Yeah, he can.
Okay.
Yep, that's good. Okay, I'm going to put it here in a second. But I'm bypassing.
You'll be able to at least hear right now, but got it. We welcome you back to Chiefland. It is time for tonight's coin toss presented by Radiant Credit Union. Define your financial future. So there we go. Seems like tails never fails. That's what Chiefland called. And Chiefland has won the toss to get things going. So the decision has been made, and looks like we are ready to go. Chiefland will be the ones to kick things off as the left footer squares up on the football. And there we go. High school season has begun. Fielded at the 35-yard line, right back up the gut, and a really good run all the way to midfield. Williston is going to have some great field position to get things going. Yeah, certainly a lot of buzz for both of these teams. You know, you've got a lot of excitement here in Chiefland, and Williston has only lost a couple of times under Coach Pruitt over the last 3 years. But what a stop right up front as Chiefland showing their authority right from the get-go as John Adams, the junior, gets in there and stops some damage.
Loss of about 3. Second down for Williston.
So this Williston offense, 3 years now under Robbie Pruitt, has been the head coach of high school football for 41 total years. He is 3 wins shy of 400 for his career. Oh, there's a misplay, and Chiefland's got it picked up, and there is a whole slew of light blue jerseys right in there and all the way to the house. That same guy, John Adams, with a big, big impact, and just like that, Chiefland is on the scoreboard first. So there, see how it all happened, and a convoy all the way to the end zone. So Chiefland's offense gets out there. They're going to try to go for 2. And a quick little hitter to that same guy that just scored the touchdown, unable to get in that time. And Williston will get the stop. But what a start for the Indians. As just a minute into this game, the home team leads it 6-0 over Williston.
Austin Jones tees it up for the Indians. Number 9, Michael Nick Collins on the stop. First and 10 for Williston.
All right, so Williston's offense back to work once again. Led by quarterback John Jazikoff. And they'll hand it off once again. Shannon, early on here, that Chiefland front has been really, really good.
Yeah, they have, Jeff. They've been kind of stout at the point of attack. And we talked about them playing assignment football and really making sure that the one guy that's assigned to the quarterback and the one guy assigned to the running back and the H-back and the million backs that they have in that backfield is to get that guy and get him on the ground. And sure enough, Williston makes a little bit of a mistake, and it costs him in the end and puts him down 6 points.
So 2nd and 9. And there's the most positive play so far, but it'll still just get a couple for Williston. And it's going to be 3rd and long here in the early going.
Yeah, a little bit weird to see this Williston offense stalling a little bit. Now, talking to some of the coaches before the game, Jeff, he said they're a little young. There's a bunch of young guys in this offense. He talked about John Jazikoff, number 14, the quarterback. He's a new guy. Shuby Williams here last year led this offense for the last couple years, but number 22, Jamari Williams, who we talked about in the open, is going to lead this offense. They're a run-first, run-heavy offense, so he needs to be the guy that steps up, as does that offensive line.
Williams in the backfield. But it looks like Williston wants a timeout.
Williston takes a timeout.
So the Devils will call their first timeout, and just a little out of sync here in the early going as they try to get their initial first down.
Yeah, just once again, I mean, anybody that's taken a look at this Williston Red Devil team over the last couple of years realizes the utter dominance that they've had. I mean, they've done a lot. They've won about 19 games during the regular season, and sure enough, Chiefland's holding up on defense right now.
And there you see that defense. There's some big bodies up front that are really off to a good start. John Adams has been the factor here in the early going, but you got Weatherford, Howard, Goodale, and then a bunch of linebackers that will certainly affect what is going on in tonight's ball game.
And you see number 10, Austin Jones, who we talked about in the beginning. He's going to be the last line of defense. I mean, you can expect to see Williston break some runs, do some stuff. And if Chiefland wants to remain good and not have these big runs break, then number 10 is going to have to do his part tonight.
So 3rd and 5, they'll roll out for the first time, and the pass just over the outstretched gloves of Giovanni Wright. He was the intended receiver. So the second straight offensive possession for Williston, where they're unable to even get a first down.
Yeah, they look out of sync, Jeff. And once again, this is not usual Williston offense where they're having to kind of throw the ball on 3rd down. Normally, they're pumping it down somebody's throat. They're running all over the field. They're running this kind of really weird offense. But sure enough, Chiefland's done their homework, and they've seen them enough. This is a rivalry game. They've seen them enough, and they know what's coming at them.
Ryan Gagne back to punt, 6'1", 180-pound senior. And a couple guys back deep for Chiefland. Austin Jones and John Adams, who might be the president of this town, just like he was for America back in the day if he keeps up his early awesome night.
Looks like we got a leader in the clubhouse for player of the game, huh?
All right. So another little mishap, and that's going to lead to a delay of game. So early on here, Williston just hasn't been able to put it together, forced to call a timeout, and then now doesn't have enough personnel on the field, so they'll be backed up 5 more yards for the punt.
Well, I talked about Williston has to be unpredictable, and sure enough, this is very much unpredictable. A lot of stuff has gone on in the beginning. First game, they got to get these jitters out. You know, some of them, they've had some scrimmages. They had some stuff, you know, kickoff classic last week or whatever they might have had. But sure enough, it's not a good start for the Williston Red Devils.
Really good punt. Jones has it about his own 30. Gets through one guy, but then 3 or 4 white jerseys will go and stop him. And that's where Chiefland will take over for the first time tonight offensively. So we'll get to see this offense led by junior Matt Goodale. Okay.
Yeah, you take that.
Yes, Sermon. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you, so I just switched headphones with Shannon. So now, yeah, I've got you now. But Shannon was. Yeah, I need to hear you because I had no idea we were going to break or nothing. All right, so I think we're good now. We're kind of settled in.
I can't even.
Yeah,
You can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But I couldn't hear you either. So I think it's only one way to feed it, is what he was saying.
Okay, fine.
Well, we welcome you back to Friday Night Rivals, presented by Radiant Credit Union. It is the Allen Law Firm Friday Night Rivals. Excited to have Bill Allen and the family back together again with us and bringing you high school football throughout the season. Opening night, and Chiefland has looked really, really good here in the early going. So now we'll get to see the Indians on offense for the first time. They'll spread it out. 3 receivers to the right, 1 down to the left. And a quick little hittle out to the running back with some room to run. He'll break a couple of tackles, but good job by Williston to converge and just a gain of about 1.
Yeah, this is kind of what you wanted to see from Williston. The thing about them is they got trounced in the past when they had to cover an open space, when they've seen playmakers on the edge. So sure enough, they got to see that the first play on defense, and they did a really good job of stopping it for minimal gain.
So Chiefland will switch things up. 3 receivers now to the left side. And 1 tailback. And flag. There's some movement before the play started. And it looks like that's going to be another penalty on Williston.
You know, Jeff, you can always expect this. It's early in the season, first couple of games. There's going to be a lot of penalties. There's going to be some, and we're talking penalties. We're not talking about the ones that are that are unavoidable, like a face mask from time to time. We're talking about jumping off sides. When these bullets start flying live, when the plays start going, and you're playing against somebody that you haven't seen in camp or you haven't seen all summer, and you tend to make a couple mistakes and things that just need to get themselves worked out.
They'll make it 2nd and about 4. Goodale with a quick toss. And a big hit over there on the sidelines. And Shannon, that's what all those summer workouts were about, man, getting ready to go. And
somebody's been playing NCAA 25 on that stick, right? Nice job right there. You see number 10, that's Austin Jones. You see him coming around that edge and taking it up that sideline and just really land a lumber. I mean, listen, Jeff, he didn't get any yards there, but really, that's kind of an emphasis play. That's what you need to show. You need to show that you guys are here to play and that you better come up. You're going to make a tackle. You better come up and lay some wood.
And right in front of your boys on the sideline, too, so that'll get those guys jacked up a little bit. All right, 3rd and 3. Jones going to get the ball again, trying to get there, and it looks like he does have enough for the first down. We'll have to wait and see on the signal, and that's exactly what it is. So that's another UF Health Ortho Care first down, and let's welcome in for the first time the 3rd member of our team, Randy Reithart, down on the sideline.
Gentlemen and folks, good evening. What a night we have for high school football. Robbie Pruitt, the head coach at Williston, looking for quite a feat. He's got 397 wins on his career. He needs 3 more for 400. And if he gets 12 more wins here in the state of Florida, he'll have 200 wins in Georgia, 200 wins in Florida, 7 state championships in Florida, 1 in Georgia. No one has ever accomplished those feats. Gentlemen, what a great way to start a season.
All right, Randy, thank you. Glad to have Randy back down roaming the sidelines, and the Williston defense trying to force Chiefland back. No gain on the last play. The Indians lead at 6-0 about halfway through quarter number 1 here. So it looked like a big storm was about to happen. They were talking about delaying the game because of lightning, and then miraculously, all of a sudden the sun came out. Shannon?
Well, you know, I had a conversation with Mother Nature.
That's right.
I said, hey, look, first night of football, we can't have rain, Jeff. We gotta make this special. We gotta make this rivalry game special. And sure enough, this is what's going on. And you know, the offenses have not been special as of yet, but there's still a good rivalry football game going on here tonight.
All right, Chiefland forced to call a timeout. So each team has used a timeout here in the early going.
And this is the thing, Jeff. It's about, you know, offense. And for those of you that might have played defense or that are defensive fans, offense is tougher than defense. It just is. There's a lot of plays. There's a lot of things that could happen inside of an offensive huddle that could happen during a play that could go wrong, that could nullify a play. So the offense is going to take a little bit to get cranked up. You're going to see some stuff. You're going to see teams trying different stuff, and that's a really important part as we go forward out through the first couple of weeks of the season.
Well, let's check out Chiefland's starting lineup, brought to you by Allen Law Firm. Allen Law here for you 24/7 and 365 days a year. We've seen Matt Goodall a couple of times, hasn't really thrown it yet, but Austin Jones, one of those running backs back there who laid the lumber, and then you've got John Adams. A lot of these, you know, smaller towns, you're going to see guys playing both ways.
Yeah, for especially Chiefland. Definitely is a small town, but guys, really good athletes, guys that play both ways, that can really go, you know, 70, 80 plays a game and still compete at a high level.
All right, back to go. Quick hitter right up the gut, and that is a good momentum for about 4 or 5 yards. So let's look at Williston on the other side. A lot of big bodies there on the Devils sideline.
Yeah, you can see number 99, Javion Donald, big guy in the middle, guy that's going to clog it up and try to stop that run that the Chiefland's going to want to do all night. But then you got a plethora of linebackers. Number 17, Jameer Williams, a big kid, guy that can run. Watching him before the game, watching pregame, can run a little bit, can hit. You're going to see him play some defensive line as well. So you got some guys that can really play a little bit all over that defense.
Jones in motion. They'll spread out the other way across his body and just off of the hands of Gabriel Doty. Really a nice pass by Goodell, trying to elude some pressure there, and just couldn't find that connection with Doty. So that's going to be 4th and probably a punt here for Chiefland.
What did the old ball coach used to call it, Jeff? Pitch and catch? That's the rule number 1 of offense. If you're going to throw the ball, pitch and catch. If you're going to throw it, you got to catch it. It was a catchable ball. You just got to catch it, get that first down.
So Goodale, who was unable to connect on that pass, now has the job duties of going out back and trying to kick it. 6-0 here in the early going. Would have been a dream, play quarterback and still get to punt it as well. It's like pitchers wanting to hit.
Well, I mean, if I'm a punter, well, I just call myself a quarterback. I know kickers are people too, but I'm calling myself a quarterback. I'm faking it every time, even if the coach is not.
Oh yeah, very true.
I'm just doing it.
Really good kick, brings Williston all the way back to the 5-yard line, and then some great coverage down there on the backside too. So early going, Chiefland has all the momentum. They're winning field position. They've got a nice turnover, and we will take a break. Williston will grab the ball for the 3rd time when we come back on Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals. We welcome you back. We'd like to take a moment before resuming to thank the fine folks at Sonny's Barbecue for feeding our Friday Night Rivals crew. Sonny's Barbecue back with us once again. Got the local pit master himself, and they've been doing great things since all the way back in 1968.
They have. Very, very much shout out. We have hot links here tonight, barbecue beans and mac and cheese. Thank you to our local folks over at the Sonny's on, I think it's Archer Road. They got it all done. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys go in and see your local pit masters, see all the good folks in there that really do a good job at all of those stores.
Well, Williston continues to go the wrong way, and that's not making Robbie Pruitt too happy here in the early going.
This young team that we talked about is really showing itself right now. It's something when you starting freshmen and not seniors. You don't operate the same way. Things happen. Mistakes happen, as you saw in the first play of the game. So they got to get it together because they still got to compete here.
And there's that Chiefland D-line once again. Just complete penetration all the way into the backfield and no gain once again. That's going to make it 3rd and about 15 or so. So if Chiefland can get the stop here, they will certainly get the ball back with really good field position.
Yeah, Chiefland showed a little bit of something on offense. So if you're Williston, you got to at least try to flip the field. You got to try to do something to get yourself out of this territory because defense can only hold up for so long. You keep them out there all night, they're going to wear down, and eventually Chiefland's going to take advantage of it. So don't make mistakes. Try to get yourself some first downs, flip this field, and get yourself going.
Couple of receivers for Williston. And Jazikoff has it. Back to pass, trying to go deep down the left line, and that is going to be a flag. Coming in extremely late. One-on-one coverage there. And it looked like Devin Minicello did a really good job of defending, but all the way from the back, referee comes in and throws the flag, so that'll be pass interference and a huge first down for Williston.
Don't the refs know that this is like the home crowd, the home stadium here? Like that's okay. I give it to like this, Jeff. You can't face guard somebody. You got to turn around and want to play the ball. He didn't do that right there. He kind of just held his arms up. Minor contact still can restitute a pass interference call. yes, it was probably questionable, but the refs probably will call that probably 95% of the time.
Yeah, never got the head around. So good job by the back official. All right, Williston all bunched up again. They're going to hand it off right up the gut. And another small gain for this pro-style wing T offense that Williston runs.
Yeah, they just haven't gotten it going yet. I mean, if you're Williston, one of the things you prided yourself on is having some misdirection, some confusion in that backfield, handing it to different players, and maybe just Chiefland has gotten the best of them. That defensive front has really taken over, and Williston hasn't seen the light of day as of yet.
So 2nd and 5. Another handoff. Breaking a tackle. This is one of the better offensive plays for Williston. Dragged out of bounds is Jamari Williams, but after he broke the initial tackle, he made a nice yard for about 15 yards.
Yeah, there's Jamari Williams, the guy we talked about in the open. They run a little counter play. He's able to kind of get outside. And listen, that should have been an angry run right there. That should have been an emphasis run where you should have just ran right through the guy. They need to get something going, and they're still behind the sticks a little bit here. They got themselves a first down, but that needs to be an angry run. He needs to get his team pumped up, and him being the senior leader on that offense, get something to get his guys rallied, get this offense going full speed.
So UF Health Ortho Care first down, where walk-ins are welcome 7 days a week. So pretty special stuff that Ortho Care does, giving you all that coverage, especially on Saturday and Sunday when a lot of those injuries occur. Good job right there by Jazikoff, eluding a couple of guys and at least getting some positive yards there, as once again Chiefland had that D-line back in his face.
Yeah, Jeff, and Jazikoff, he's a junior himself, and he was a backup to Shuby Williams last year, so he got to see a little bit of action. But when it's finally live, and he's a little bit of a different quarterback. He's not the runner that Williams was. He does a couple things. He got some really lively arm, but they got to give him some protection. And honestly, this offense has to be ahead of this change. He's got to do some play action. He's got to do some stuff that's going to be able to fit his style.
Only a couple of minutes left here in quarter number 1. Chiefland still holding that 6-0 lead, and there's another handoff to Williams, and another great job by a whole bunch of those, what do you call those, light blue jerseys?
Like a Carolina powder blue.
Okay.
We'll go with powder blue. Well, we saw a lot of powder blue just picking themselves up off the running back right there. And Chiefland's doing a great job of gang tackling. We talk about that, playing assignment football. Sure enough, that's what's going on right now. One guy is taking reading his assignments, whether it be the pulling guard, whether it be the crossing back, or whatever it is, and they're playing assignment football, hitting the guy that has the ball, putting him on the ground in very minimal gains.
Yeah, I see Wykel Howard up there, Sean Watkins right there in the middle. Those big boys are really getting a push, and that Williston offensive line not really able to do anything here in the early going. So 3rd and about 8. And the righty back to pass, and there is that pressure once again. He's going to flip it late, but they'll already call Jazikoff down, so it'll be a sack there by Chiefland once again. And Reginald Adams is the one to make the play.
Yeah, nice job by Reggie Adams. And listen, if you are Chiefland, you should be happier than a pig rolling in slop right now. On the opposite side, if you're Williston, you got to keep your quarterback up. I mean, there was almost instant pressure right there. And if you're Williston, that's not the recipe for success for you. You don't want to drop back and throw the ball 20, 30 times a game. You want to run the football, but you can't if you're getting blown up at the line of scrimmage.
Demore Sweet coming in. He's one of 2 guys back there to try to field the punt. Jones, who we saw run back the first one, will get another one off the right field of Ryan Gagne. And it's a really nice kick going out towards Jones. He'll have some room to run at his own 20. Out to the 25, breaking a tackle, 30. Now the 40s at midfield, sheds another tackle. And that is a great run back by Austin Jones, the senior. It's been Jones and John Adams so far doing a lot of damage for Chiefland, and they'll take over in some great field position.
Looks like there's a little laundry on the field, though.
Uh-oh. Well, it's going to be a face mask on Williston. So after the great return, Chiefland's going to get even more yards.
Oh, it's actually
after
offsetting.
That.
It was a holding and, and a face mask. Yeah, so it's going to offset them. They may end up kicking this thing again.
Well, we are streaming tonight courtesy of Allen Law. Allen Law is your local personal injury law firm. Let them fight for you. So that's exactly what will happen. The offsetting penalties will force Gagne to kick it once again, and we'll see if they stay away from Jones this time.
You know, hey, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on kick the ball out of bounds. I mean, right now, if you're Williston, just do something to flip the field and not put yourself in a worse position, especially this defense, which has been on the field a lot of the night.
Yeah, not nearly as good of a kick, a wobbler, but that'll be way more effective. That thing's going to settle down right around the 20-yard line where Chiefland is going to take over with just a couple of seconds left, and now the clock is going to run out. So that will be the end of quarter number 1 here in Chiefland. Let's check out the My 11 Sports score summary here on Friday Night Rivals, and it was John Adams, as that D-line has been a force here in the early going, making a play, picking it up and going.
I mean, they've been flexing, Jeff. They've been doing a great job. The mistake, obviously, we see early. We see the fumble scoop for 6. The only score tonight. Both teams relatively have been playing well defensively. And we said both offenses are going to struggle a little bit, but I think if we're looking at the analytics here, we're looking at who's winning this football game. It is Chiefland's taking it to them.
At the end of 1, 6-0 Indians. We welcome you back to Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Radian Credit Union. Alongside Shannon Snell, I am Jeff Cardozo, Randy Reinhardt down on the sidelines as we get ready for the start of the second quarter here in Chiefland. It's a tremendous community, about 30 minutes or so outside of Gainesville. You just get on the country roads and head out this way to a place that is very passionate about football, and their Indians are off to a really nice start, leading 6-0.
Yeah, they are off to a nice start. I mean, that first quarter, very much unexpected from what we've seen in the past. We've seen this Williston Red Devil team come out on fire, literally, and do such great things the past couple of years. But you can see their age tonight. You can see that they're a little young. You can see that they're a little inexperienced. And Chiefland's defense, at least, has taken full advantage of that.
Matt Goodale at quarterback. Get to really see him get the ball down the field so far. A lot of running plays here in the early going for both of the teams, and there's a pretty good one right up the gut, and that'll be some positive yardage for Demore Sweet, the junior.
Yeah, nice job by Sweet. Nice job by that offensive line. You can tell that they're running this dive play. They're running some stuff up the middle that's opening up that Williston defense. Now, Williston's defense has been out there for quite a bit. You're talking about time of possession. Chiefland's offense has owned that in the first quarter, and the longer that this goes on and the more that defense is out there for the Red Devils, the worse it's going to be.
There you saw Adam Gore, the head coach for Chiefland. He's had a bunch of different stints here for the Indians, and he is doing a really nice job, just like the Red Devil defense did right there. It's stopping the run. So they tried to go back to Demore Sweet, and that time the Red Devils were up to the challenge.
Yeah, you saw number 99. We talked about him, Javion McDonald, actually in there at that nose tackle, stopping that middle run. Those guys, they're holding up at the point of attack. They really are doing a good job. As you can see, those 6 points, if you're just now joining, came off of a scoop and score from that Chiefland defense. This Williston offense they've been doing a great job defensively. They've been doing a good job of standing in their lanes and stopping the run. And now they just got to try to get some points on the board.
They'll run in Wykill Howard as it is 4th down, and Chiefland is forced to punt it away once again. So that will go to Goodale. But before it happens, looks like we've got another flag on the field.
These good old mental mistakes. I mean, these are the things that you don't want to see in a football game. Obviously, human error is always a part of the game, but this is the early part of a season that you have to kind of put up with if you're a coach, you're an assistant coach, a position coach, if you're a player, you're going to see a lot of these mental errors. You're going to see a lot of things still trying to get worked out. It stinks that it's in a rivalry game against two teams that really want to beat each other, but these things just got to get themselves worked out, and eventually they will.
Yeah, several delay of games already for both of these teams. As the right foot is Goodale gets one into it, and no real opportunity for Giovanni Wright to field it, so that'll settle down just shy of the 40-yard line.
So this is where we are, Jeff. If you're Williston, you basically haven't done anything on offense. You might have got yourself one first down in that first quarter off of that Jamari Williams run, but that's about it. There's been nothing. You got to establish what you want to do, who you want to be. Can you run the football? Do you want to do some play action? Do you want to throw the football? Start to establish your offensive identity here in the second quarter and here moving forward.
All right, so Williston's going to take over, but before they do, let's head down to the sidelines real quick with Randy.
Injury update. Taylor Brown banged up his left shoulder. Big number 6, who's playing at wideout, was the quarterback last year. In fact, he had to play because Matt Goodall, who is now the quarterback, was injured twice last year. He broke his left hand in preseason, and right before the start of the season, he broke his right hand. So being quarterback is a dangerous position to Chiefland, apparently.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, you certainly wish him all the best and all the off-season workouts and trying to get ready to go. Tough to bang something up here on opening day. All right, Jazikoff back to work, and he'll hand it off right up the middle again on that dive play, and that is one of the better runs for Williston, as there he is again. Jamari Williams will have himself a UF Health Ortho Care first down.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that we haven't seen him touch the ball way more than what he has, but there's that little dive play right up the middle. Talking about playing assignment football, the first guy needs to take that dive guy, the next guy takes the quarterback, and the linebacker safety takes the pitch guy if they decide to pitch it. So if Williston gets into the mode of being able to get that and operate that really well, it's really tough to stop, Jeff.
Oh, back to work again, but some flags as Marion Walker looked like there was a false start, and that's exactly what it was.
And listen, if you're Jazikoff, you're getting into an offense that you haven't been the conductor of. You've seen a guy lead his team to the state playoffs, go deep into the state playoffs the last couple of years as a backup, and now you finally get to shine under the lights. And it's just you got to work all the bugs out. And with this offense specifically, Jeff, it's all about timing, right? If the timing is thrown off by one little inch of a hair, you saw what happened, and you saw that scoop 6 that Chiefland defense has. So it's about timing, as it is about blocking, so they got to be able to get that down.
That's been the only score of the game so far, as neither offense has been able to do much. Good push from the offensive line right there, though. And then I think you can now finally see Williston saying, all right, we messed around enough. Let's start pushing some people around.
I think their coaches over there, and especially Coach Pruitt, has finally jumped in his players' butts and said, look, guys, that first quarter is not who we are. That is not what we're like. If you watch this team over the last couple of years, you will know that they're offensively explosive. Tonight, that first quarter, it just didn't look the same. But, they got guys like John Adams who they're going up against. John being a junior, a guy that's been coming up through this program, has gotten really good, has that touchdown early on. I mean, you got to be able to get through that. But if you're Williston, you got to execute.
Good run by Williams. They'll give it to him again, and he's got himself another UF Health Ortho Care first down, where walk-ins are welcome 7 days a week, and that one is a little more than 7 yards on the hitter by Jamari Williams.
This is the grind you're going to see. This is the quick hitters, the misdirection. This is going to be the funny stuff that's going to be makes it really tough to play this Williston Red Devil football team. They do stuff to fool you, and then by the time you look up and think somebody has the ball, that somebody else is down the field 20 yards running into the end zone.
Well, it hasn't been much of an offense so far, but we'll see if Williston can continue to move their way down in the field and try to even this game up. We'll see what they can do when we come back on Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivalry. We welcome you back. Williston on the move. Their best drive so far, and don't forget, we will be giving you later on in the game our Davis Gainesville Chevrolet Drive of the Game. It's brought to you by Davis Gainesville Chevrolet.
And we could be there right now. We're seeing Williston finally, after pleading, after begging, we're seeing them start to move this football like we know they can. So we'll see if they can finally put together this drive and punch it in for 6.
Will fumble on the snap. Jazikoff back to pass. He'll go deep down the left sideline. He's got a man, and that is going to be a catch. A Marion Walker forced out of bounds by the throw, but a really nice catch before he does so. And the biggest play so far by the Red Devils has them inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, the scariest thing about John Jazikoff is we talked about that live arm. Listen, he gets it going, he gets it up where his receiver can come down with it, and it was a beautiful throw, beautiful catch. Should have been able to score with that right there if you're old Marion Walker, but still nice play to put the Red Devils down the red zone.
So another UF Health Ortho Care first down. Walk-ins welcome 7 days a week. And we are inside for the first time our Call a Mattress Superstore Red Zone. And we'll see if the Red Devils can punch things in here. Williams has it, trying to push his way in, and he is in. So Jamari Williams, who has been the workhorse for the Red Devils so far, able to get through the right side, right behind that right guard, and punches it into the end zone, and that'll knot the game up at 6 apiece.
Such a beautiful drive right there. That everything went right on that drive. If you're the Williston Red Devils, that's who you are. You basically ran the ball down Chiefland's throat, added in a little bit of play action pass, and all of a sudden you find yourself 6 points up on the board. That is who you are. That is who you are. You run first, you pass second. And if you can do that, you will find yourself in a really good spot here moving forward.
Ryan Gagne trying to give the Red Devils a lead, and he does. Perfect right through the uprights. And for the first time tonight, Williston has a lead in the ball game. We'll take a break as the Red Devils now lead the Chiefland Indians 7-6 on Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals. We welcome you back to Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Radian Credit Union. The Red Devils march all the way down the field about 80 yards and take the lead for the first time tonight, so they lead it 7-6. That's 7th point. The extra point made right there by Gagne, who will get ready to kick off. So it's time for another My 11 Sports kickoff.
Yeah, you got to feel great if you're head coach Bobby Pruitt for the Williston Red Devils. It was a great drive. You needed that. All right, 6 minutes and 52 seconds left. You're in the second quarter, and your team finally scores. That probably felt really good for him just to get that first one out of the way.
Good kick by Gagne. That'll get all the way into the end zone as we are about halfway through the second quarter. And that means after that, it will be halftime. So stay tuned for the Pavlov halftime report. We'll have this week's Allen Law Firm Scholar Athlete. Allen Law Firm here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. We'll also talk with tonight's participating school administrators, plus Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals and highlights from all across the country. It's all coming up in the Pavlov halftime report. Pavlov, high-speed fiber internet. All right, Chiefland takes back over. And they will stick with the ground, but Williston with a quick little stick. And now 3 white jerseys end up tackling the ball carrier for no gain.
Yeah, you see number 99, Javion Donald back in there again. You also see number 1 right there, Ezekiel Taylor. You see these, it feels like momentum, Jeff. It started to change his address a little bit. You know, if you're Chiefland, you came out hot, you were able to get the scoop and score. 6 points ahead, your defense is dominating. And all of a sudden, Williston puts together a really, really dope drive. And now their defense, which has been playing really well all night, is starting to kind of take over the game.
Yeah, Javion Donald there, 5'11", 215-pound senior. Big guy up front. And it looks like they want to go with the option, but a flag is going to come on the play, and that's probably going to be a hold.
As my coach used to say, you know, Chiefland's starting to look a little bit discombobulated. Things are starting to go down. There's a little bit of confusion. You know, offensively, they were doing well, running the ball downhill, hitting it between the tackles a little bit. But now it's just, you know, they're getting outside, trying to run some options, do a couple different things, and now it's looking like a little bit of a hot mess.
So a big mishap there by Chiefland is going to back them up a bunch.
Now, if you're Chiefland, now you got to look out. You're in the shadow, starting to get into the shadow of your own goal line. You're going to have to throw the ball probably sometime eventually on this drive. So one thing you don't want to do is do what Williston did earlier in that first quarter and turn this ball over and give them more momentum than what they already have right now.
So Goodell has the play under center. And they're going to hand it off once again. Got through the initial D line, but a nice job by the linebackers as DeMaurice Sweet will get the carry.
Yeah, we talked about number 17, Jameer Williams, big guy, big linebacker, able to come in and make a quick tackle. Those lanes and those running lanes that were really big in that first quarter and that Chiefland was hitting on have gotten smaller. And you see Williston starting to maybe impose their will a little bit.
So it'll be 3rd and 15 now. And we'll see what Adam Gore there chooses to do, whether or not to throw it, try to get the first down.
I mean, Jeff, if you're not proficient in throwing in the passing game, I mean, a screen, a draw, there's a couple things in the cards here. Maybe a quick throw out to the running back.
A little misdirection, but a really nice job by Williston as John Adams tried to get around the outside, but he is immediately stopped by that Red Devil defensive line. All right, let's send it back down to the sideline once again, where Randy is hanging out on the Chiefland side.
Yeah, with Adam Gore, the head coach, in his 3rd stint, the 46-year-old coaches team in 17 to a 6-5 mark. 18 who were 10-2, and 21 were 11-2. So Jeff, as a pitcher, it's great to have a guy in the bullpen like that can come out and has a career mark of 27-9 in his 5th year as head coach, but his 3rd tenure as the head of the Indians.
Yeah, this is a guy that grew up in Chiefland, so certainly a lot of loyalty to this place. He has done a tremendous job, and I know, they were looking for a head coach and couldn't really find somebody that was, I think, suited for what the tradition is. So Adam says, hey, I'll do it. I'll coach once again. And he has certainly done a really nice job. And that was a really nice punt, the best so far by Matt Goodell. And Williston will have to start at their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, coach is about trust and respect. It is about X's and O's. You got to be able to coach those, right? We've seen that histories of people that couldn't do it, but I think he's done a great job, not only with this team, but in this community where he's earned some respect, he's earned some trust, and he's fielded some pretty daggone good football teams. So, kudos to him for really doing that in a community that's really tight-knit.
Well, remember, we are streaming online tonight, brought to you by Allen Law Firm, and streaming live. And live action has us with more laundry out on the field. That's been a busy referee tonight. So, even for those guys, Shannon, as much as these football players are working out, lifting weights, it's like, all right, dude, it's go time. You better get in football shape.
Do you think these referees have to do like curls and stuff throughout the season for this, as much as they throw that flag?
Well, if you look at all those NFL refs, you could tell that those.
I'm like, listen, some of them, I'm like, maybe they just use arms just so they can look good on TV, but I'm guessing so they can throw the flag 30 yards and who can launch the flag the farthest.
Yeah, Ed Hockley and company, and I think they also probably asked for maybe that medium.
The extra medium.
So the guns look a little bit bigger. Well, there's a big stop right there, ripping off the helmet, and now some more laundry is going to be flying in.
And this is one of the things, one of the keys to the game was keeping your emotions under control. This is probably going to be a personal foul. Now, these are totally unavoidable. These are totally avoidable. You don't want to see these, no matter what time of year, where you are in the game, what game it is for you. You can't see that. You can't rip somebody's helmet off. You can't do that in practice. You can't. Now, that's one thing that's just it costing your team 15 yards for nothing. That's not a good deal.
So it will be a face mask, and of that big variety, and that should be enough for another UF Health OrthoCare first down, and that's exactly what it is. So the chain gang will get to work.
See it there, and
there's really no reason. You got 4 guys corralling you.
Yeah, it's simple, just like, hey, you stopped him in the backfield, everything was good, he ripped his helmet off.
Well, Marion Walker tries to get around the right side. He'll do so for about 3 yards or so, as we are in about 3.5 minutes to go until halftime. So Williston just doing their thing now, starting to pound the football and trying to score for the second consecutive time tonight.
Yeah, wash, rinse, and repeat. That's what they did on the last drive. They found what works for them. They said, hey, let's go back to basics. Let's run this football. Let's run it directly between the tackles, and they got themselves a touchdown. Now they're trying to go back to the same thing here. If you're Chiefland, you know what's going to happen.
Well, they'll fake the handoff one way and come back inside, and that is another really nice run. Going to be about a yard shy of the first down, but Bryson Willis touches the ball for the first time tonight.
Got himself a nice gain, too. Able to come around as that coming to like a little cross buck action. But it was really misdirection. That's what happens, is when you start to get used to seeing a guy coming downhill and hitting the gap and hitting the hole, and that dive guy really getting after you, then all of a sudden they hand it off to somebody else, and sure enough, you get themselves a nice little gain.
Well, during the fourth quarter of the game tonight, we'll be selecting the Allen Law player of the game. Allen Law is all in for you. All the big bodies all in right now, 3rd and 1. And as you would expect, the workhorse gets it. Jamari Williams, who has scored the Williston touchdown tonight, looks like he has enough for the first down, and in fact he does. So another UF Health Ortho Care first down.
Yeah, and that's the thing about a guy like Williams. He's not a really tall guy. He's not tall whatsoever, kind of small, kind of like a scat back, a slash back. You'll see him do a lot of different things. He'll get the ball outside, inside. If you give him opportunity and you give him room, he's going to take it to the house. He's one of those guys that can turn on the burners and leave everybody in the dust.
Well, Williston might want to pick up the pace here a little bit. We're about a minute and a half left until halftime, and they'll continue at their 34-yard line. They will try to hit it down the middle, but it's deflected, and high pointing, nobody is going to be able to get it. That's a nice job by Austin Jones on defense there. So he has done it both offensively and now defensively.
Yeah, talk about the last line of defense now. Here's a little bit of a blurb here. This was open. If he gets his ball out in front, this was wide open.
Yep.
You gotta be able to launch that ball, but nice job by Austin Jones, able to come back, get his hands on that, almost pick that off too.
So that'll stop the clock. 1:29 to go here in the first half. And Williston wants to talk about it. They'll call their second timeout here of the first half.
And Jeff, this is kind of what you expect out of a rivalry game like this. Two teams that really want to beat each other. There's bad blood. These teams don't like each other. They want to see each other. They want to be able to win this football game because it's going to dictate a lot with the rest of their season. So this is what you expect, a really low-scoring, back-and-forth tough football game.
Well, stay tuned for the Pavlov halftime report. We'll have this week's Allen Law Firm Scholar Athletes. Allen Law here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. We'll also talk with tonight's participating school administrators, plus highlights from all across the country. It's all coming up in our Pavlov halftime report. Pavlov, high-speed fiber internet.
I want to give a shout out to both Bill and Jenny up in Cleveland right now, having fun, doing their thing. Bill and Jenny, we miss you guys. Hope to see you soon. I know we'll see Bill up in this press box at some point in time, so look forward to seeing you guys.
Yeah, you think he's checking out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame up there?
Oh my gosh, it's so great. Like, I'm a kind of an Elvis fan and all this stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool thing to see.
Second down and 10 for Williston.
All right, well, Williston has talked it over. And we'll see what they can do here, if they can rock and roll all the way into the end zone. But another fumbled snap, and that's going to be a fumble. Who's going to be on it?
That's a fumble.
A couple of blue jerseys there, but it does look like Williston was able to get it back at the last second. That is Bryson Willis jumping on the football.
Yeah, that play just looked like a hot mess. It looked like it was a little bit of a flip back. He fumbles the snap. He tries to flip it over to running back number 0 coming across Omarion Walker, and then Walker drops it, and it becomes another fumble. So looked like a trick play, but ends up being a really big loss.
Yeah, it's a couple times Jazikoff has now fumbled the snap. But as you would expect, that again starting for the first time, trying to get those jitters out there. But he certainly going to have to be more secure with the football. So 3rd and very long now, about 20 yards. And we're going to have a delay of game, so make it even more.
Goodness gracious. I mean, the good news is this is before halftime. Right. The biggest adjustments that can come in any football game is after halftime. That first drive, first 2 drives for each team after halftime, they got to clean up these like kind of mental mistake penalties. And listen, Jeff, as much as it's on the players on the field for what they're jumping off sides and stuff, sometimes the coaches get penalties too because they're not getting the play in quick enough, or they're trying to adjust to the speed of the game out the gate. So it's not just the players; everybody needs to get better in this area here in the second half.
Well, Chiefland wants to use now one of their timeouts, talk about what they could potentially do. And Shannon, this could be one of those where you're saying, okay, well, let's go try to strip the football. And that's your best opportunity. Get the ball back there in midfield, about 20 seconds to go, and see if you can do some damage.
Yeah, we've seen Williston have some ball handling issues here since the start of this football game. Forcing a turnover would be great for this Williston football team, which has kind of cooled off on offense here in the second quarter. A great opportunity for them to try to get some points on the board, especially here towards the end of the half when Williston could get desperate.
So the meetings of the minds have finished up, and we'll see what Williston decides to do here. But I think it's one of those in Williston's mindset, hey, we are 20 seconds away from halftime, don't want to do something stupid. Just get the ball and don't try to do too much with it.
Yeah, probably just hand the ball off. Something safe, not a reverse, triple option pass, nothing crazy like that. Just something, hand the ball off, go into half with a one-point lead, regroup, and try to come out and put together a better second half.
See Adam Gore there, chatting with the officials. And it looks like they'll put some more time back on the clock. So that'll give Chiefland an extra 12 seconds as they'll bring the clock to now 32 seconds.
Yeah, more time for them to make a play, try to make something happen. And remember, they don't have any timeouts left, Jeff. So that's the bad thing about it. So if you're Williston, still just run the ball out, take a knee, do something where you're not going to get yourself in any trouble here.
There you see Robbie Pruitt, 21-2 in his 3 years at Williston, coaching high school football for more than 40 years, which is crazy. That's about the same amount of time that you and I have been on Earth, man.
That's crazy. You know, he's been coaching longer than I've almost been alive, which makes me feel good because I'm getting older, right? But listen, he's been a staple in this football community in North Central Florida for a long, long time. Knows offense, knows football, knows players, gotten the best out of these guys. Done a great job the last couple of years here at Williston, Jeff. This team has been unstoppable. Nobody wanted to go into Williston to play them. Nobody wants to see them late in the season because they're really tough to deal with. And they were almost a staple in the state playoffs.
All right, well, there is that pressure that we talked about, and the last timeout will be used. So good job by Adam Gore. He got the pressure in there. Jazikoff had absolutely no chance. And with about 25 seconds to go, Chiefland is going to get the ball back.
Well, they did have a timeout, and sure enough, we saw a fumble at the snap. Those ball handling issues are going to get Williston in trouble. We talked about timing. We talked about how, the timing of the offense, if it's off, bad things can happen. We saw it once. So if you're Williston, the number one thing that Coach Bobby Pruitt hopefully is talking to his guys about is ball safety, ball security, because if it's not, you're going to be giving up free points just like you did earlier in that first quarter.
It's 3 different times now that the snap has not been able to be handled by Jazikoff back there. So certainly something they need to work on. But, as much as we talk about Coach Pruitt on that side, they've got some big names helping him alongside, talking to several former Gators before the game that are part of that. Big money. Always good to see Gerard Warren over there.
Gerard Warren we saw kind of coaching that D lineup over there. We saw Mike Natil, who's coaching the linebackers. Mike, a Gator, a former player from 1999 through 2002. Played for the Minnesota Vikings. So you got some guys over there. You got a lot of NFL pedigree. You got some guys that know exactly what they're talking about. And you know right now, I mean, we're talking defensive guys. So it feels good to watch this score and to know Chiefland hasn't scored an offensive touchdown. But, you know, they got to be able to put this together. They got to be able to put this together on offense so they can give their defense a little bit of a rest here.
So Ryan Gagne has been a busy man tonight. Punting now for the 5th time, and he has punted it pretty well. We'll see if he gets off a good one here. It's a nice spiral as nobody was back deep. They were trying to block it, so that football is going to settle down at the 5-yard line. So good job by Gagne, but there's also a flag down there. It looked like they might have run into him before he got the kickoff.
This could end up being a first down. They just run into a kicker. Wasn't the personal foul variety.
So just a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, you can see number 15, Mike Goodell, just kind of just bumped him a little bit. Could have been a little bit of an acting class right there. But hey, can't touch the kicker, can't run into him. Stay away from him. If you can't get the block, then just back away from him.
I mean, that's a good way to, you know, everybody's got a reality show now and doing different things. So you prove you're an actor here, you might make it big in Hollywood.
I mean, you're auditioning not only for, you know, colleges and college football, but you're auditioning for acting school.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Love Island, my kids are all into that one.
Yeah, my kids are into all this stuff that I don't even know what the heck it is nowadays.
All right, well, the penalty will be declined. So Chiefland will take back over with just 16 seconds to go until halftime. Again, we'll be able to talk to a lot of school administrators, head coaches, and introduce you to some really phenomenal student athletes when we get to halftime here. Been a very tough game. We're offense to do anything. Williston with the only offensive touchdown. Chiefland scores on a scoop fumble and takes it back about 30 yards into the end zone, and the Indians will just take a knee now, so that will have the clock wind down to 0, and Randy's going to run across the other side of the field so we can try to get some words with Robbie Pruitt.
Yeah, tough half for both offenses, and if you got to feel pretty good if you're Williston to have that one drive in that second quarter that got some points up on the board. But moving forward, I think you'll see a little bit different, a little bit stronger offenses.
All right, let's head down to Randy, who has the Williston Devils head coach.
Robbie, let's get your impressions of the first half.
Sloppy. We've been right pitiful. Probably had 6 or 8 fumbled snaps, blocked, missed assignments. It's been bad. We're very fortunate to be ahead of this game.
How about the play of your defense?
They've been playing well. Now our defense and special teams has played pretty good, and like I say, on offense, right pitiful.
How much can you coach them up? I mean, there's a lot of jitters for these guys in the first game of the season. What do you tell them at halftime?
We just got to settle down and block. Like I said, we've had penalties, offsides. Like I said, I think we've had 8, if I'm not mistaken, 8 fumbled snaps. So we've not gotten any kind of rhythm at all. We got to try to get in the rhythm. They've just kept us out of a rhythm. We've kept ourselves out for bad snaps. So we got to get over here and try to fix that.
Kind of game that makes you pull your hair out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're young on the offensive line, and we knew it. We're going to have some growing pains. We got 4 sophomores that last week had their first varsity experience. So, I mean, we knew that, but still no excuse for fumbling snaps, you know.
Good to see you for another season.
You too. Thank you.
Jeff, back up to you.
All right, Randy, thank you. So Shannon, he's very honest, saying the offense is pitiful. 8 fumbled snaps is what he counted, and you just can't get into a rhythm that way. So a lot of young guys on offense, but I think he expects more than that.
I love his honesty. I mean, he knew it was kind of a dumpster fire, and sure enough, I'm sure that's going to be the very first thing he talked to him about the mistakes, the drop snaps, the missed opportunities, giving up 6 points. So I think if they can get that cleared up, we can see what Williston really is all about.
So your score at halftime, Williston 7, Chiefland 6. Up next, our Pavlov halftime report here on Friday Night Rivals.
Allen Law is proud to present the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Tim Taylor Jr. plays varsity football at Williston Middle High School. For the 2023 season, Tim's stats included 64 tackles, 12 sacks, and 13 tackles for loss. In addition to dominating in football, Tim excels academically with a 3.6 grade point average. He's received more than 10 offers from different colleges across the country, including Yale University. In his free time, Tim attends the Regeneration Church of God in Christ. This All-Star is now entered for a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to the Allen Law Scholar Athlete of the Week, Tim Taylor Jr.
We are joined now in person by the one and only Tim Taylor Jr. And first of all, I remember last year you told me you like homework. Now, what is that all about?
Yeah, who doesn't like a little bit of practice, extra practice? Got to have it.
Let's talk about your future, too. I know you've got a lot of college offers already. How do you handle all the attention you're getting?
Just stay calm, man. Just focus on just coming back every day to get better, man. I love being with my brothers, man, and, they hold me down.
What's it like playing for the Red Devils each and every week?
It means a lot, man. Coach Pruitt, man, he's the man, man. He pushed me every day, me and my brothers, and we come ready to work every day.
Now, there's a guy on this team that's got the same last name as you, first name of Zeke. Between the two of you in this family, who is the better athlete?
Of course, me.
And why is that?
I'm the big brother, man. I put in a lot of hard work, man. I trust my process, and I know my technique.
Folks, he's got at least a dozen offers, including Yale, and now he's going to get another award courtesy of Abraham Banks from Allen Law Firm, who's got a special presentation to our Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Hey, congratulations. We really appreciate excellence and hard work at Allen Law. We really, really appreciate you being the Scholar of the Week, and congratulations on your hard work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Another great night here at Chiefland. Jeff, back to you.
All right, great stuff there with Randy, and another great student athlete. Really appreciate Allen Law Firm and what they're doing for the kids in this community. Williston leading Chiefland 7-6 here at halftime. Back with more right after this. Oh, nope, we're staying here, and we've got Randy down on the sideline with one of our great school administrators.
Thank you, Jeff. Indeed, he is great. The one and only Lamar Waters from Williston High School. And Lamar, what a first half of football. First of all, we can ask him about the game because he's also a coach. You have the wide receivers, right?
Yes, sir.
Your thoughts?
Well, they're very good. They're very physical up front and just big. And we're young, so we got to figure some things out.
Let's talk about the school now, and specifically the athletic programs. A lot going on, and something to bang your chest about as well, too, correct?
Yes, sir. Our boys' athletic program was ranked number 1 in our classification. Boys basketball repeated as state champs. Football went to the regional finals. Baseball and boys weightlifting for the first time in 17 years won the district championship. So, and then the girls, they finished in the top 10. So I think overall we were 4th or 5th. As far as athletic programs in the state.
And we morph from athletics to academics. What's big at Williston this school year?
Well, Dr. Hancock, she's doing a great job, and our school grade would have been a B. A week before the grades came out, the state changed the grading scale, so we ended up with a high C. But we'll keep striving. We're going to try to get that A this year.
I heard it was your grades that brought him down.
Probably so.
And finally, what's it like to have a living legend like Robbie Pruitt running your program?
Well, I've known Robbie for 30 years, and he led me to the Lord 30 years ago. Thankful for that. Just a great man. He's a better man than he is a coach, and he's pretty darn good at what he does.
Well, you're pretty great, too. We thank you for your time. Go back there and coach up the team.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jeff, back upstairs to you.
All right, Randy, thank you very much. So you see the Red Devils right there chilling out, getting ready for what is going to be a great second half. They lead it right now 7-6. We'll continue with more halftime right after this.
Allen Law is proud to present the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Michael R. Goodell of Chiefland Middle High School plays football and basketball. He also does track and weightlifting. In addition to participating in a variety of sports, Michael is also focused on his studies. He has a 4.1 grade point average and is dual enrolled at the College of Central Florida. He received the Superintendent's Reading Award and was named Student of the Month. He was also a homecoming court attendant in his junior year. In his free time, Michael volunteers as an umpire for youth baseball and does chains for youth football. He attends the First Baptist Church of Chiefland and works part-time at Marathon Gas Station. After graduating from Chiefland High School, Michael has received a full scholarship to attend and play football at the United States Military Academy. This All-Star is now entered for a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Congratulations to the Allen Law Scholar Athlete of the Week, Michael Goodell.
And we are talking with that Scholar Athlete. Hold your applause for Michael Goodell. And Mike, how do you handle time management with all that you do?
Time management is very important to me. You know, I'm a dual enrollment student, got practice, workouts every day. It's really just keeping the same schedule and sticking to it. That's how I like to look at it.
And talk about all the volunteer work you do. I know that means a lot to you as well, too, does it not?
Yes, sir. I come out here on to the football games, baseball games, umpire all the time. I just like being around the kids. I got 2 little brothers, and I want them to grow up in my footsteps.
Speaking of that, there's a guy on this team named Mike who's got the same last name as you, who thinks he's a stellar athlete. Who's the better athlete, you or him? Come on.
Well, I think we're both good athletes, and we both have our strengths. So I'm not gonna say which one's better or not. We'll let the field see.
So Mike and Matt are tied right now for that. In the regard of giving an award, we have the one and only Abraham Banks from Allen Law Firm joining us right now with a special presentation. Abraham?
Yes, on behalf of Allen Law, we congratulate you on all your achievements and wish you all the best this season. So keep up the hard work and keep fighting hard.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
And finally, your next step will be Army. Talk about that.
Yes, sir. I'm verbally committed to Army right now. I'm excited about that, man. It's a very good opportunity, and I look forward to it.
Way to go, brother.
Yes, sir, it
all
is.
Right.
Guys, we're excited about this guy protecting our country in the future. Jeff, back upstairs to you.
All right, Randy, thank you very much. Well, that's one of those guys, Michael Goodell, that's been a big force, not only in the classroom, but in the game tonight. That defensive line for Chiefland has been really, really good. Well, you don't get really good students without tremendous teachers. So time to now our teacher spotlight, and here is Kyle Parnell.
Bounds Heating and Air is proud to present the Teacher Spotlight of the Week. This game's spotlight shines on Kyle Parnell of Chiefland Middle High School. He is the Dean of Students, the Athletic Director, the Baseball Coach, and the Football Coach. Kyle has been teaching for 37 years, 8 of those at Chiefland, and currently teaches PE and Driver's Ed. His mission in teaching is to make a positive impact in the lives of his students that extends beyond the classroom and the ball field. Kyle was named the 2013 Sewanee Conference Coach of the Year and is a CMHS Baseball Hall of Fame inductee. He's coached baseball teams to 6 district championships, 3 regional championships, and to be 3 times state runners-up. His favorite teaching memory has been getting the opportunity to teach all 3 of his sons. Congratulations, Kyle Parnell. Teacher Spotlight of the Week, proudly brought to you by Bounds Heating and Air. Call Bounds.
And here on the Pavlov Media Halftime Report, we are joined by the fearless principal at Chiefland High School, the one and only Matt McClellan, who I must say was honored a short time ago as a Principal of the Year. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was a very humbling experience to receive that, but it was, it wasn't something that I did. It was this great faculty and staff that I get to work with, that works with these kids, so it was humbling for the whole school.
Tell us what thoughts go through your mind now as you start another school year here at Chiefland.
Well, we've had a great first 2 weeks, been one of the best ones that I can remember. Kids are doing great. Teachers were fully staffed, so we have all of our teachers and all of our staff members, so it's going really great.
Any new programs, either athletically or academically, you want to share?
Yeah. We don't have any new programs this year, but what we are doing is our CTE programs. We're boosting those up. We've got a lot of attendance in those, so students can get certifications so they can go and get a job right after high school if they so desire, or help them into the college program.
I mentioned this earlier, but what is it like to have a coach like Adam Gore in the bullpen that you can call out for a third time as a head coach, 27-9 his career mark, and he comes in and he doesn't miss a beat?
Well, the great thing about Adam, you know what you're going to get. He's going to be consistent. The kids are going to play the game the right way. They're going to be respectful, but they're going to be tough, and they're going to get after it playing football. So it's wonderful to have Adam. He and I go way back, and he's just somebody that is wonderful for these kids.
And because you are respectful and a quality program, we have a quality guy joining us now, Abraham Banks with the Allen Law Firm, and he's got a special presentation he'd like to make.
On behalf of Allen Law, we'd like to wish the Chiefland Indians a great football season and hope this donation helps you guys have some great success this year. So congratulations on getting the season kicked off. I wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. And, Jeff, it should be a fun second half here at Chiefland.
Yeah, it certainly should, Randy. Thank you, and tremendous work down there on the sidelines, and obviously what Matthew McClellan is doing, and Kyle Parnell, and all these administrators, teachers. That's why these kids are able to be successful and do what they do. Well, it hasn't been much success on offense so far. We'll see if that changes as we get ready for the third quarter. Williston up 7-6 here on Friday Night Rivals. Halftime here at our opener of high school football here in the area. It's Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals presented by Radiant Credit Union. Williston with a 7-6 lead, the only offensive touchdown so far, as Chiefland was able to get a scoop and score and go down and get the first 6 points of the game. Speaking of Chiefland, Randy is down on the sideline. We've got their head coach, Adam Gore.
Coach, talk about the start to the contest that Jeff alluded to. You had a great start. What happened after that?
Yeah, teams is playing good defense on both sides of the ball, and it's just good Levy County football. Good kids. I hope the fans are excited about the way defenses are playing on both teams. Yeah.
What'd you tell the team at halftime?
We just gotta, we gotta make sure we don't make mistakes. Just lock in, focus. It's little play there in that first half, cost us there on a big play, but they played solid. We just got to make sure we're focused and just play physical and hard and represent ourselves in a positive way for our community.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
7-6 the tally here at the break, and the second half with Jeff and Shannon just around the corner here on My 11. Join us every week right here for Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals.
We welcome you back. Start of the third quarter here on Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals. Williston up 7-6. Chiefland won the toss to start off the game. They deferred, so they will be the first ones to get the football. Here as we start the second half, Ryan Gagne set to kick off once again, and the staple, Jones and Sweet back deep. It's My 11 kickoff, and it's another touchback. So Shannon, we start the third quarter, not a lot of offense, and I would expect that the coaches had to make some adjustments, so we'll see if that changes.
Yeah, Jeff, they had to make adjustments. I mean, there was unless you were just Williston in that second quarter, it was really non-existent. And I think we talked about this earlier in the broadcast, is that offense is going to be further behind defense. It doesn't matter what level of football you're playing, whether it be pro, college, high school, Pop Warner. Offense has a lot of moving pieces to it. So hopefully this halftime talk to both teams from both Williston and Chiefland can get their offenses rolling a little bit, get some points up on the board here moving forward.
Damari Sweet in the backfield. Back there with the quarterback, Goodale, and Goodale is going to try to run it himself, but there was a little turf monster on the field, so that'll trip up the quarterback, and that'll be a loss of a couple.
Good old turf monster / gopher / something cricket down there that might have tripped them up. Good for Chiefland for trying something new, trying a little quarterback draw, quarterback sweep right there. Just trying to get themselves going, get some sort of a rhythm going so that they can start picking up some first downs and honestly keep that defense off the field, which was going to, they've been on the field quite a bit themselves here tonight.
So Goodale in the shotgun again. Back to pass this time, looks down the right side. He's got a man, and that is going to be a really nice catch. John Adams once again right at midfield, and that is some really good momentum to get things going for the Indians.
There you go. Something new, something big, something to get that momentum going. And hey, if at the very least, if that's all that did, it flipped the field. They needed to get out of the shadow of their own end zone, out of where they were, backed up. And sure enough, John Adams able to come up with another big play here tonight and get themselves a midfield.
So that is another UF Health Ortho Care first down. And a little momentum. They'll try it once again, trying for Adams again, but free safety gets over, and Jadian Manal will knock it down. So trying to go at it once again.
Yeah, hey, listen, it's better than nothing. It's better than what you've been doing. It's like, hey, if we could take a shot and get a nice big play right there, let's try to go to the well again and see. Let's test this Red Devils secondary, which, Jeff, they've been beat up in the past. They've been one of their weaknesses out on the edge. Their secondary has taken some hits, whether it be in the state playoffs last year or the year before. They have shown some weakness out there on the edge. So, hey, good game plan to try to attack them here in the second half.
So Goodell has the play. Hilton, 3 guys receiver-wise to the left side of the formation, 2nd and 10, and they will hand it off. And some positive yards, about 4. Once again, Demore Sweet.
That's number 12, Demore Sweet.
Yeah, Demore Sweet able to squeeze through right there. Wasn't a ton of movement, but he was able to kind of squeeze there, get about 4 yards, 4 or 5 yards, and put himself in third and manageable.
Really nice crowd here tonight in Chiefland. The entire Williston side, the visiting side full. So they made their way over from Williston, not too far, about 20 minutes or so to get here. So a couple of small towns here in north central Florida that really love their high school sports. 3rd and 6 now. We'll see what Goodell is able to do. Back to pass, he'll roll to the left, got some pressure, now back to the right, and he's not able to get away from it. That is a heck of pursuit by Jameer Williams, and that'll be a sack for a big, big loss.
And that outside linebacker spot, I was talking to Mike McField about him before the game. If you walk up on him, he's bigger than what you expect. He's a very, very kind of rangy, kind of like one of those tweeners where you can play defensive end, a rush in that can play an outside linebacker. And as you can see right there, quick enough to get there and take him down for a sack.
So that'll force Goodell back to punt again. Deep for the Red Devils, Giovanni Wright. And he'll put his heels at about the 22-yard line.
And you got to feel good if you're Williston's defense, if your coach Robbie Pruitt, is that you just took a shot in the mouth, and sure enough, your defense forces another punt and gives it back to the O.
Well, Wright had trouble fielding it, but by the sideline, he's able to get it out of bounds. So that's where Williston is going to take over once again. Well, later in the broadcast tonight, we'll feature the Allen Law Firm Protecting the House defensive stop of the game. Allen Law, your local personal injury experts. Dial #yes anytime.
So I'm very curious now, Jeff, to see what Williston does in the second half. They had a really great drive towards the end of that second quarter. Can they capitalize off of that? Kind of stalled at the end of that half, but can they capitalize off of what they've been doing and maybe get themselves into a little bit of a groove?
Well, we'll see if Jazikoff has gotten rid of the jitters. 8 fumbled snaps, according to Coach Pruitt. He was not happy with the offense at all. Talked about not being able to get into any kind of rhythm. But you could also give part of that to Chiefland's defensive line. Those guys up front have been really good tonight.
Yeah, Chiefland's defensive line has been playing their butts off. It's not like Williston has just been making all the mistakes and we give no credit to Chiefland. Chiefland's defense has been great across the board. Minus that one drive that Williston just put together, was a masterful drive there. They've been great. They haven't allowed very many first downs, and they've been generally making Williston punt the ball away.
Jamari Williams in the backfield again. He's been the workhorse for Williston so far. They'll fake it to him and give it away on the outside, and that is a really good pursuit.
They had a good old gang tackling. You see it, and we've seen it here, and you see number 0 right there. You see number 0 right there actually trying to take that ball outside, trying to get himself up the field. But that goes to show that Chiefland defense, once again, rising to the challenge. And this is what they've done all night. One guy grabs him, everybody else is running to the ball, and it's just been a nice pursuit drill.
Loss of 4 on the play, so it's 3rd and 14. Really nice play again by Austin Jones, who has done it all tonight for Chiefland.
Feels good when I'm right, Jeff. I highlight a player that's been making plays, and sure enough, he must know he's on broadcast tonight and never talking about him.
Well, there's another play made by that defensive line. Some great pursuit in there, and that is Sean Watkins, the senior, blowing things up the middle from the big fella.
Big man love right there. Didn't call his name tonight, but we finally did, and he just made a nice play. Taking the dive guy, playing responsible football, playing quality football, making sure he takes his assignment. He blows up the dive guy, 0 yards.
Yeah, Watkins been a force up there, and a lot of times those nose tackles don't get any love. Their job is to let everybody else get the tackles, but big fella got one.
Yeah, to keep all the blockers off those linebackers and let them run, and sure enough, he took the dive guy, did what he was supposed to do, and gets his name called.
So here's Gagne from his own end zone. He's going to have to put a good one into it, and he does just past midfield, but some room to run, and that's Jones, but he's not able to get too far, just crossing midfield, and that's where his team will take over. As Chiefland, down 1, will have some really good field position to try to take back the lead. So that is your score. We'll take a timeout and see what Goodell and the rest of the offense can do when we come back on Friday Night Rivals. We welcome you back alongside Shannon Snell, Jeff Cardozo. Happy to be here with you on Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals. Not a lot of offense so far. Williston leads Chiefland tonight 7-6, but Chiefland in really good field position. They'll start off on the opponent's 49-yard line as we head down to Randy.
Guys, thank you very much. Jaden and Karin Manna, twin brothers that play for Williston, both state weightlifting champions. The coach cannot tell them apart except for the fact when they take off their helmets, one has longer hair than the other. What a nice little situation to have if you're over in the land of the Red Devils.
Yeah, certainly so. Thank you, Randy. Yeah, it's a lot of great brothers, siblings, and just so many great high school athletes here in this area. And Shannon, it's pretty funny. They twins, you can't really tell them apart. Coach has no idea. I think if people looked at us, probably about the same thing, couldn't tell us apart. You might be a little stronger, but we're about the same height.
We're about the same height. You're maybe a smidge better looking. Not much, but a smidge, right?
Yeah.
I always call you my brother from another mother, Jeff. So
that's right.
I'm sure people are going to understand that.
That's what it is all about. All right, Chiefland got a couple. They'll try to pass it here. Six's foot in the dirt, and that is a really nice pass there by Goodall. And how about that? Running over some dudes. There it goes again. Go. He is not quitting. And there he is. Once again, give that boy something. John Adams has been the man tonight.
Yeah, John Adams is like, you know what? Forget, I'll do it. I'll do it myself. And sure enough, John Adams has been the guy. Scored himself a touchdown off the scoop and score. Had a big pass earlier in this quarter. Now this is just like you're breaking tackles. That's 1, 2. There's 3. There's 4 guys. 5, 6. Like 6 or 7 guys trying to bring him down. That's not skill, Jeff. That's not like, hey, that was just will and want to. You can see him fired up right there and saying, hey, look, I'm going to put this on my back as he's done pretty much all night. And he's trying to get these Indians into the end zone.
That's the 3rd time we've seen him just run over an Indian tonight. Or excuse me, a Red Devil.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what was needed. You're talking about getting your team fired up. Sometimes you can scream to the top of your lungs and you can be the vocal guy, but there's those guys out in that huddle. There's that one guy that's going to do something, that's going to deliver a big hit, that's going to have a monster run like John Adams just had right there, that's going to really amp this team up and try to get them into the end zone.
Well, during the 4th quarter of the game tonight, we'll be selecting the Allen Law Firm Player of the Game. Thought that was a perfect time for the little tease because John Adams has been really good. And the best part about that, Chuck down there is the athletic trainer provided by UF Health, and he came over, and I don't think you even need to ask him if he was doing all right. Adams just says, dude, I'm fine. Let me just feed me.
Listen, if you're not, if he's hurt, he's not feeling it. This is all adrenaline right there. You're running down, and you're taking hits, and you're getting yards, and nobody's bringing you down. You're running off of adrenaline for the rest of this game.
So Goodell under center now, and he will get the toss, and that is into the end zone. Austin Jones through the right side, breaks one little tackle, got some great blocking by that offensive line, and Chiefland has reclaimed the lead once again.
Let's go, Chiefland. That is a drive. We watched them. We talked about them. We said, hey, they haven't done really anything offensively since the first half where they had a couple of runs. They finally put themselves together a really nice drive, hit some passes, hit a really big run right before this one, and then finally Austin Jones gets in the end zone. That's how you do it. That's how you put the drive together to put yourself in a position to win this football game.
Yeah, he had 3 different really good blocks, so that's team football right there. Fullback got one, the offensive line, and then the wide receiver on the outside. So they'll try for 2, try to do that same thing, and they will not be able to get in the end zone this time. Jones with some really good pursuit there on the other side by Noah Robinson. He will keep him out of the end zone and keep that lead at just 5 for the Indians. So we'll take a break. Williston's got some work to do. They'll get the ball back when we come back here on Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals. Chiefland with the lead, up 5 here with 5:39 to go in quarter number 3. Austin Jones gets into the end zone, and he and John Adams have been really, really good tonight for Chiefland. Time for another My 11 Sports kickoff. Jones will kick it, a little pooch to the right side, and that is a really nice job to come up and get it by Giovanni Wright. That's a live football, and Chiefland was almost Johnny on the spot to get it.
Yeah, kind of unexpected that they pooched that like that. Good plan, but even better result what they had on that last drive there, Jeff. That was a really well put together drive. They put themselves in a position to win this football game. This defense has been really good all night. -1 drive. They haven't given up a whole lot. So now if you're Williston, what do you do? How do you respond? How do you answer? And, if you're Coach Robbie Pruitt, what do you throw out there? What do you throw at a young quarterback that's going to get him down that football field and get them back up in the football game?
Yeah, this is a big drive by Jazikoff. He'll hand it right up the gut. That is Jamari Williams again. He'll gain about 3 or 4 before finally getting gang tackled. And, that's going to be the key. Jazikoff has not fumbled here in the second half, but just all the mishaps, one big turnover that led to a touchdown. Could have been a few more. His confidence needs to probably get a little bit better.
Yeah, they need a big drive. And as you just said, this is an important drive. This is an important drive as you're about to head into the fourth quarter. Got about 5 minutes left. You're coming off of you watch Chiefland go down there and really put together something really, really nice. You got to respond. You got to answer. You can't give them the ball back because momentum is a thing, and it's on their side right now.
Well, Chiefland expecting run. They are going to run, and there you go. How about John Adams once again?
Come on, man. This guy's doing it all. Like, we talked about him on offense, but good gosh, he's been just as good, if not better, on defense. You can see he's fired up. You can see he's played a lot of plays tonight, Jeff. He hasn't taken really a step off that football field, so really shout out to the conditioning of that young man, but even more of a shout out to how he's doing well on both offense and defense.
Yeah, fun to watch guys take over and just really a man amongst boys here tonight. John Adams is making sure that a lot of people know who he is throughout North Central Florida this year. So 3rd and about 5 here for Jazikoff and the Red Devil offense. Bunch of guys huddled up into the box. They're going to hand it off, but there you go once again. A lot of pursuit there by those light blue jerseys, and that is Wykel Howard leading the charge, pulling the running back, and it's going to mean 4th down.
It's been fun watching this Chiefland defense. We've been calling different names every single time. It's not one guy other than John Adams who's been balling out, but we've been calling different guys every single time. Look at the gang tackling. That's been, it seems like, the game plan of what this Chiefland defense wanted to do tonight. One guy hit him. Everybody else better get to the ball, try to pull the ball away, try to make something happen, get the guy to the ground. And sure enough, that's what's been going on tonight. They've done a phenomenal job.
Well, and the strength again by Howard to make that happen. You just pulled down a running back that's about 200 pounds. Good kick once again. We'll see what Jones can do with it. He gets to the outside with a lot of room to run. And a flag comes in, though, as he crosses midfield.
Oh, man.
He's going to get by everybody. everybody. Jones is going to take it to the house, but there is a flag, and we'll see if that's going to take it all the way back.
This one is almost like it didn't need to happen. You're going to see this in just a second. If they call holding on this play, this is points taken off the board for nothing.
Second time that Jones has had a huge return tonight, and for the second time, it's going to be called back.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. Hey, listen, the return was fantastic. Let's take nothing away from Jones there. But when you see that yellow laundry fly on the field for holding, which they're calling right now, and for a hold that just didn't need to happen. That's what we talk about. We don't talk about the holds that happen at point of attack when you're trying to keep a guy from actually getting a finger on the guy running the ball or getting a. This one happened down the field. So you're going to see right here, he's going to break through the first wave, break around the left edge. You're going to see that flag flying down the field. Somebody was holding way down the field, and it wasn't even like he hadn't even gotten to that point yet. And that's the part that you don't have to do. If you see a guy, if you feel a guy holding, it's not worth it. Just let him go. A lot of times the returner, the running back, whoever has a football, they can break a tackle. They can juke a guy. When you do that, you cost yourself valuable yards, and even in this case, a touchdown.
So it was at the spot of the foul, so you still get some of the yards, and Williston, all discombobulated once again, is going to take a timeout.
Yeah, that's just like a gut punch, Jeff. I mean, even though it was a good return, they got the ball back. They're almost at midfield here. It's like a gut punch because it takes points off the board off of what was a really, really good return.
Well, near the conclusion of the game tonight, we'll be highlighting the Davis Chevrolet drive of the game, brought to you by Davis Gainesville Chevrolet. See Gerard Warren there on the defensive line coach with the hoodie on.
Yeah, he's got to get this defense together. It seems that Chiefland has maybe found his stride a little bit. We'll find out on this drive. But as important as that last drive was for Williston, this drive is equally as important for Chiefland to try to put themselves up a couple of scores. And that means a lot in this football game for a Williston team that hasn't been on their their best on offense.
Yeah, one more score here. You're going to have a little sense of urgency on that Williston side. As the Indians lead it by 5 with just under 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. So 1st and 10 here for Goodall and company. He'll hand it off. Trying to get around the edge is Ty Jackson. And the freshman will be tackled as another flag goes down on the field.
Yeah, when you see those outside running plays and you see the running back kind of stutter and you see Laundry fly there, he was normally holding. And that's exactly what it is. You kind of, those linemen get the, have to chase, or that pursuit from the defensive line is sometimes tough. On offensive linemen, if the ball's not cutting up where it's supposed to cut up and you got to hold some jersey, or the defensive lineman pulls away too quickly, and sure enough, that jersey starts to pull, those refs are going to always call it.
So a couple of holding penalties have really hurt Chiefland here. One bringing back a touchdown, and now bringing them back 10 more yards. As Goodell will work from the shotgun again. 2 receivers to the left. He'll keep the ball himself, try to do something, but nice job by that defensive line led by Timothy Taylor Jr. He was our scholar athlete for Williston.
Seems like Williston's turned up the heat a little bit here. They're starting to send more guys on run blitzes. They're sending guys up the middle. They're sending guys off the edge, just trying to get some pressure, create some confusion in that backfield, and that's what's going on. So if you're Williston right now, you're feeling good, but if you're Chiefland, you got to put something together. The game's not over. There's still 2 minutes left in the third quarter. We're not even in the fourth quarter yet. So Williston still has the playmakers and stuff to make stuff happen. They got to be able to put something together here, try to get themselves a first down, or try to at least flip the field so they don't have to deal with Williston in short territory.
Quick little hitter to the outside, but not much there for John Abrams that time. He was lined up in the slot. So this will be after the gain of 2, 3rd and about 18.
Amir Williams there again. So we talked about him a couple of times here tonight, making plays. really doing a good job out there on the edge in space. You always want to see a young guy that's kind of big and stocky that can make plays in space. Those are rare. Those are the kind of guys that get paid to play on Sundays.
So 3 receivers, trip to the right this time for Goodale, but they'll hand it off right up the gut and nothing to show for it. So Williston got the very important stop after the hold on first down, and they're going to get the ball back with just under a minute to go here in quarter number 3.
Jeff, how important was that holding call now?
Huge.
Right? You stall at midfield. I mean, you get it in really good position, but instead of now, like, having points up on the board, that's a 12, 14-point swing. It could be probably more than that if Williston goes down and scores. And just those mistakes, you got to get rid of those. Those are the ones that just can't happen.
So Goodale back to punt. He gets off a high wobbler, and that's going to be another mistake there by Chiefland as they run into the returner. He didn't even have a chance to go get it, so another penalty for the Indians.
Football 101. Don't run into the returner. I mean, that's just, even if you're playing a video game, if you touch the returner, you're going to get an automatic 15-yard call. So, you back them up. It was a nice high kick right there. All you got to do is back off. Say, there's a magical word that we all say. It was called Peter, which means get away from the ball, back off the kick, or back off the returner. Didn't do that. You cost yourself 15 yards there.
Well, you're watching the game tonight on live stream. Brought to you by Allen Law. We'll stream live throughout the entire year here on the Allen Law Friday Night Rivals broadcast. Alongside Shannon Snell, Jeff Cardozo here with you. Dustin Gunch is our producer tonight, doing some great things back in the studio as we get after it for the first time. There's another one of those fumbles on the snap, and it looks like Chiefland might have gotten it back, and they have.
See, Red Devils playing with fire, and that's exactly what we talked. Jeff, you mentioned it. You said it. You said, hey, there was no drop snaps in the second half, after 8 of them in the first half, and sure enough, the very next play, after a big defensive stand, drops the ball, Chiefland gets it back. And that's the mistake that will kill you in the end.
And it just seems so basic. The easy exchange just hasn't been able to happen tonight. And Sean Watkins, who we mentioned a couple of times, in there to recover that fumble.
Yeah, that's just disappointing if you're Williston, is that the simple basic rules of football is that you have to be able to get the snap.
So that is the end of quarter number 3. Chiefland, another life, trying to make it a 2-score game. They lead by 5 here heading to the 4th quarter. Quarter number 4, we have one final one to go tonight here in Chiefland as the home team leads it by 5. And they've got the ball once again. Rolling out to his right is Goodale. Will try to sling one down the field, but well overthrown of the intended receiver. But Shannon, I don't think there's a lot of people that even thought Chiefland would be in this game. You got to give them a lot of credit.
I'll be honest, Jeff, I didn't think they'd be in this game, but sure enough, they proved me wrong. And that's the thing about football. It's not played on paper. It's not played, in a virtual world. It's played by real people who have the ability to go out there and change those opinions and change those narratives. And sure enough, that's what Chiefland's doing tonight. They came out and they played hard-nosed football. It's been a lot of Williston mistakes, yes, absolutely, but give credit to Chiefland because they played well tonight.
Yeah, one of those mistakes right there, which has given Chiefland the ball back.
Second down and 10 for the Indians.
And they've got a chance to do some real damage here as we make it to the 4th quarter. 9 different fumbled snaps tonight. And that one is a nice throw across his body by Goodale, and they'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down for, once again, John Adams, who has had a heck of a ball game.
The biggest difference in this football game tonight, Jeff, is turnovers, mistakes. The team that makes the least amount of mistakes is the team that's in the best position to win, and that's what we see right here. We see Chiefland in the best position to win this football game because they protected the ball. Listen, their offense hasn't been explosive. That's going to come throughout the season, but they've been in good positions. They've been able to flip the field and force Williston to making mistakes.
So a big third down right here. 3rd and 3. Goodell from the shotgun. They'll go with a little option toss, and that's going to be plenty for a first down. Austin Jones driving through another couple of defenders, and that is a UF Health Ortho Care first down where walk-ins are welcome 7 days a week.
Hey, folks, y'all see why I like him? Like, he's a tough-nosed kid that plays both sides of the ball. And listen, Chiefland has a lot of guys like this that play both sides of the ball, and they play well. They condition well. They study well, and this is what's going on here tonight. They put themselves in a really good position to maybe go up by 2 scores, but ultimately they got Williston on their heels. This defense, which for Williston has done really well all night, they're finally starting to wear down, and we talked about that it was going to happen, and that's what you see is going on.
Yeah, if you're Adam Gore now, it's all about watching that clock dwindle down. They'll try the same play. Jones has it, cuts back inside, breaks a couple of tackles before finally being brought down by Timothy Taylor, but a really nice run there on first down.
Yes, the Austin Jones, Jonathan Adams show. You see these 2 skilled guys really being a big part of offensive and defensive schemes, and they're what's making this team go right now. These guys continue it. I mean, this score is really low, but if this keeps going the same way that it's that we're kind of predicting, then God bless America. Chiefland's going to end up walking out of here with a victory tonight.
Well, and I think you love the play calls, too. If it works, why not keep going back to it? So the 3rd time, they're going to do it again. Jones has it, has enough for a first down. He'll run through a couple more bodies, and that will be another UF Health Ortho Care first down where walk-ins are welcome 7 days a week.
Go to it again. Listen, they got their hands on their hips. Just look at the Williston defenders. You can see them kind of just walking. They've been on the field for a long, long time tonight. And this is, they've done a great job substituting. They've got a lot of guys over there on the sideline trying to rotate them in and out. But if you had the ball as long as Chiefland's had tonight and you've been able to kind of pound that front, there's really nothing you can do. You're going to get tired.
Tamori Sweet now in the backfield as Jones will get a little bit of a breather. And they're going to do the same thing to Sweet. And a Sweet run all the way to the end zone.
Iced it.
It is that double score lead for Chiefland. And 4 straight times they run the same exact play. This one all the way to pay dirt.
I love seeing this. Listen, you don't go away from what's getting you down there. They saw a weakness there. They saw that Williston, they're breathing hard. They're like, hey, man, at some point in time, when you get into a boxing match, one boxer gets hit in the mouth, and you notice that, oh, man, that would hurt them. They've seen that here tonight. They've been hitting Williston in the mouth here in the 4th quarter all night, and finally they were able to bust one open, get into the end zone, and make it. They're now up 2 scores.
Well, great blocking once again by that offensive line. They'll try the quarterback keep that time, but Goodell falls just short of getting into the end zone. But it is a 2-score game, and the home team, Chiefland, now leads it as we go to break, 18-7 here on Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals. Chiefland now up 18-7 over Williston, who has only lost twice in the last 3 years, so a big opener for the Indians. They've got 9 minutes to hang on to this 18-7 lead. So it's another My 11 Sports kickoff, and it's another squibber down the middle of the field. And Williston will go down. It's been a really good defense tonight for Chiefland. Just one offensive drive by Williston. And Shannon, it got off to a good start. So it's time to check out tonight's Allen Law Firm Protecting the House defensive stop of the game. Allen Law, your local personal injury experts. Dial pound yes anytime. And
doesn't surprise you that it's John Adams. Done just a phenomenal job all night, being able to stop in the backfield, sling a guy back with a guy kind of hanging on his hip. There's 2 guys there he slung back. So, got his team fired up out the rip and has done a great job on both defense and offense. Really fun to watch John Adams here tonight.
Well, Williston's going to have to really get going now, and they'll try a little end around to the outside, and Omarion Walker is going to be slowed up by Adams before finally being brought down. But they've got to have a sense of urgency now.
Yeah, they have to. They have to, Jeff. Look, it's 8:40 left in the fourth quarter. Don't throw the ball a whole lot. We haven't seen your playmakers on the edge make a whole bunch of plays, but now's the time to do it.
Loss of 1 on the play. Yeah, Adams tonight. I always remember that line from Bull Durham when he wants to throw the fastball all the time so he can announce his presence with authority. And that's been Adams tonight right from the get-go. He's like, hey, I'm number 21, and I'm going to be on you all night.
And sure enough, he's looked really good doing it, too.
He certainly has. All right, no room whatsoever at all for Jazikoff as 2 different guys were back there. Adams and Howard all over him, and Wykel Howard has been a force on defense tonight.
I mean, sweet dreams. Like, they're coming, they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, and they know that is not Williston's forte, is to drop back and throw the ball. Matter of fact, they tried it earlier in the game, and Chiefland's defensive line was getting after him then. Now they have a unabated, just kind of a full go straight to the quarterback, and you can tell they got some really good pass rushers up there. So if you're Williston's offensive line, you better try to give your quarterback a little bit of time here to get the ball downfield.
Well, it's 3rd down, and they've almost got to go all the way back to Williston to get a first down. So Jazikoff back to pass pressure once again. Is that going to be picked off? No. But a nice diving attempt there by another one of those defensive linemen. It's Howard again, and he almost picked it off with great pressure.
I mean, it was a good call to call a screen, but you got to block it up. You can't let John Adams, who's in the backfield again, hello, surprise, surprise. But John Adams back there again, you got to be able to slow him up so you can at least get the ball dumped off to the running back so he can get upfield. They just didn't slow him down, and sure enough, got his hands up and batted down, almost picked that off.
Well, there is nothing that Williston can do about this one. It is 4th and 1,000,000, so they will have to punt once again. Gagne is back deep to punt, and on the other side, Adams, it's a bad snap, gets over Gagne's head. He's going to now try to throw for the first down, gets it back to the middle of the field. They'll get it. Nope, it'll be incomplete. So Chiefland is going to take over, but there is a flag down on the field.
I don't know if you can make that call. Like if he's declared himself as a passer, I don't know if you can.
They're calling roughing the passer.
They called roughing the passer? Are you kidding me?
Wow.
What? I don't even know what to say about that. Like, if he declared himself as a passer, I don't know if he even has any rights as a quarterback in the pocket.
No, you can certainly go after him and hit him. Obviously, didn't really see the hit. We'll see if we can get a replay on it and see if it was late or blatant or high or what.
Oh, man.
But that's going to give Williston new life and completely change this game.
I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, they were dead in the water. I mean, snap over the head and just kind of hanging out back there. Even if the pass would have been completed at that point in time, it would have been short. So it's just, you know.
So Jazikoff will get a new chance. He'll be back to pass, trying to go deep down the right side, and that will be incomplete. Good coverage right there by Jamarian White.
Hey, I like to see that. I mean, if you're Chiefland, you could have easily gone into the hole and be like, look, a big play happens right there. But you said, hey, look, we got to come back on the field. We got to still play defense. We still have a game to win, and you make a good play right there. Very, very nice job right there, being able to defend that football pass.
Yeah, Williston's going to have to take several shots now. Clock stops with just under 7 minutes to go now. There you see the Chiefland cheerleaders. They've been doing a great job tonight.
You got to get a little bit of You got to have a little bit of creativity if you're Williston here. You can't just kind of chuck it up downfield. They're expecting that to come.
Try to get it in your playmaker's hands, and that's what they do right there with a quick little out to a Marion Walker, and that's going to be plenty good for another UF Health OrthoCare first down.
Some of this short stuff underneath, Jeff, is going to be their best friend. Those long deep passes, they're going to be drop back, sitting on quarters, sitting on, cover 2, cover 3. These little short passes underneath is going to allow them to get some extra yards after the catch, maybe even get out of bounds right there. So good pass, probably the best game plan for them.
We've got a timeout on the field, so we'll take it with them. Williston driving down after a muff punt, but a big play, still trailing 18-7. All right, big drive happening for Williston, but there was a big drive earlier by Chiefland. Let's look at tonight's Chick-fil-A move of the game. Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken.
Yeah, John Adams, you see him running there. You see Austin Jones taking off for the touchdown. The drive of the game right there. This fantastic job, this drive. Davis Chevrolet Gainesville drive of the game. Just a really good job by this Chiefland team, putting it together when they really needed it the most. That one drive is really what took over this game and puts them in this position to win it here tonight.
Yeah, it's been just one good drive for Williston so far. They've got to put a couple together here as they start 1st and 10 in Chiefland territory. Back to pass, another quick one down the middle. A lot of room to run there. Jones is going to try to run him down, and he'll make the tackle at about the 15-yard line, but Giovanni Wright got in some space and got another UF Health OrthoCare first down.
Remember I talked about those short passes, Jeff? Right underneath. Quick little slant pass or quick little drag pass right across the middle. Able to get out to the edge, get themselves some extra yards afterwards. They're defending deep. Now it gets a little tougher. Once you get closer to the goal line, a little bit less area to defend. So if you're Williston, you're going to have to get creative. Even the runs may be in the cards here. So just be on the lookout for what they may do here to try to get this touchdown.
6 minutes and counting on the clock. They'll try to throw again, but there he is once again. Wykel Howard has been a menace tonight.
Hey, that was a 3-step drop. You're not supposed to get sacked on a 3-step drop. I mean, normally it's 1, 2, 3 throw. It was a fade that was coming, and Wykel Howard able to kind of just blow up the offensive lineman right there and just get to the backfield on the power rush to the inside and get the sack. Nice job.
Big loss on the play of about 5. And that'll push Williston back to the 20-yard line. They'll go from the shotgun this time as Jazikoff has 5 receivers out there, but the play is going to be blown dead. And because of the different formation, Chiefland forced to call a timeout quickly. And probably a good thing they did with the personnel that they had in there.
Yeah, there was a bunch of mismatches over there. You see Jazikoff actually jumping up and down because he saw a mismatch over there. So called a quick timeout, good timeout there, just to get the personnel matched up. This is important, right? You don't want them to get that elusive touchdown that they haven't seen since the second quarter of the game. And you want to protect this momentum that they've done such a great job here in the fourth quarter, feeding off this home crowd, running the football, throwing it down there. We talked about John Adams and what he's done tonight. We talked about Austin Jones, what he's done, but also give some credit to that offensive line of what they've done in the fourth quarter for Chiefland. They've done a good job of not allowing that penetration, which we saw in the first half, of seeing a lot of those lost yardage and those no-yard gains runs. They've done a good job of pushing around on this Williston defensive front, and right now it's put them in a spot that they have to score.
18-7, Chiefland leads it. Back to pass again, and there is that D-line once again. 3 different guys in there for Chiefland. And there is your scholar athlete of the game, Mike Goodall, getting in there.
You see Goodall in there. You see Reggie Adams in there. You saw number 21, John Adams hanging around there. I mean, it was kind of a meeting at the quarterback, so a meeting of the minds back there. So kind of a split sack between everybody, but really nice job by that defensive line of putting that pressure on and starting to take this game over.
Well, if you're catching this game on Facebook, you can thank Alan Law for the streaming. Alan Law here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. They're back to pass again down the middle, and that one is broken up. Good job by J.R. Hudson coming in from the free safety spot as we head back down to the sidelines, and Randy.
You know, the defensive coordinator is Cliff Harrell for Chiefland. He's the former head coach at Santa Fe. Also was the D coordinator in the past at Chiefland. And guess what? Was also the D coordinator at Williston in the past. And you talked about John Adams. He was second team All-State as an 8th grader already as an underclassman. He can't drive yet, but he's got offers from Louisville and other schools.
Not too shabby, Randy. So Williston forced to try to kick a field goal here. Gagne set. This will be a 41-yarder, plenty of leg, and that one is right through. So Gagne, who's been a busy man punting the football tonight, makes it a one-score game once again on a big field goal, and that's exactly what they needed.
That was a pressure kick right there. You have to make that. You miss that kick, the game is conceivably over. But now you put yourself one score behind, and you give yourself some new life. So if you're the Chiefland offense, you've got to make it happen. On the other side, if you're the Williston defense, which has kind of been beat up here in the second half, you have a shot to give it back to your offense, to get yourselves back in this game, to tie this game up, and to make it, to get yourself in a spot that you weren't in just a few minutes ago to win this football game.
Well, we've been mentioning John Adams' name a lot for Chiefland tonight, so let's look at tonight's Chick-fil-A move of the game. Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken. 21 has moved all over the place tonight, and he's run over dudes doing so.
This is great. He breaks about 5 or 6 tackles here. He's carrying guys all along. This is the emphasis run. This is the run, the attitude run that this one, I'm going to be the one guy that takes over this game. And for John Adams that saw a bunch of struggle with that offense, he said, look, put it on my back. I got you, fellas. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did.
So just over 4 minutes left in the game now. We'll see if Adams is a force. Austin Jones has been really good offensively. Demore Sweet tonight, too. So the three playmakers for Chiefland will get the ball back once again, and we'll see if they can keep it for 4 minutes and try to run this clock out.
This is the drive. This is 4-minute offense. You hear about it a lot. 4-minute offense means, hey, you got to be able to run the ball, keep the ball in bounds, make things happen.
There's an onside kick attempt and takes one good bounce, but recovered nicely. And for Chiefland, that is Gabriel Doty coming up with a big play on the hands team.
And I feel like that's a little insulting if I'm Chiefland, because they say, hey, look, we know our defense is going to be able to stop you. If it was me, I kick the ball deep and force my defense I force you to go to the long field to try to be able to score or to try to run this clock out. But hey, they're giving them the short field, saying, hey, we're challenging you. Coach Robbie Pruitt is saying, hey, I'm challenging you to try to get some first downs in the short field to try to beat us. He's saying, hey, I'm betting on my defense here.
Well, what's worked tonight for Chiefland is getting the ball to the outside. They haven't had a lot of success up the middle, so there's that option play again, but it's dropped this time on a bad toss, but Austin Jones is able to recover it with one hand.
Yeah, bad toss and actually bad catch. He didn't look that ball in. He saw some shadows and kind of tried to one-hand it. You're going to see right here, he's not going to look this ball in. Oh, maybe it just kind of got tossed behind him, but yeah, really bad toss. And one thing that we hadn't seen from Chiefland tonight is the ball on the ground, and I think that was the first time that we have seen it.
So Chiefland will eat up as much time as they can as the clock winds just under 3:30 now here to play in the ball game.
And this ball really shouldn't be put in the air. Keep it on the ground. Try to run this clock out and then play defense, which you've been doing well all night if you're Chiefland.
They will keep it on the ground, and they'll give it to Adams, but not much room to run. Williston expecting it. They had basically all 11 guys up in the box, as Chiefland is just trying to watch that clock move, and Williston's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, run this thing down. run it again, then you know what? Play defense. They got to score a touchdown, and then they got to get a 2-point conversion. That's the odds of that happening on any normal drive is really low. That happening on a money drive or the last drive of the game, what a money drive is called, is much lower than that. So that's probably what you're going to see here for the rest of this football, the rest of this fourth quarter.
So it's 3rd and about 14. So you'll run the ball one more time. Williston has 1 timeout to go. So can still call one more, but then again, as Shannon mentioned, you got to get off a punt, and a good one will force you to at least go about 80 yards. Try to get into the end zone and then get the 2-point conversion.
And the good news is what we saw out of Williston on that last drive, Jeff, is that they were able to hit some short passes. They were able to get down the field pretty quickly. So this game's not over. Matter of fact, it's far from over. Well, Chiefland has to do something here. It's going to keep the clock running. That's going to burn up that final timeout from Williston. And then they're going to have to play the best defense that they played all night.
3rd down and long coming up for the Indians.
So here's a toss out to Adams. Gets around one guy, now through another, breaking tackles. There he is.
No!
On the loose, gets through everybody before finally being brought down. And there is the heart and soul of this Chiefland ball team.
Come on, man.
And John Adams just says feed me.
Give that man the player of the game right there. That is legit. Listen, Jeff, I saw that ball, and there was a lot of pursuit going that way. I was like, okay, he's dead to rights. But sure enough, we saw this early in the game. We saw it already from John Adams that he was able to break 4 or 5 tackles. He does it again. He does it again, spinning, not going down to the ground. That is will. That's pure will. That's not, once again, it's not skill. It's not something that can be taught. That's just something that says, hey, I'm not going down. I'm going to win this football game.
And that's exactly what he just did for his team. A will, as Shannon mentioned, a want. And Chiefland here at home tonight to open up the 2024 high school football season has done a tremendous job.
Got to salute that young man right there. That was incredible.
Adams will get it again, get a couple of yards as they run right up the middle. And it looks like at this point, Williston choosing not to call a timeout.
2nd down and about 7 for the Indians.
I mean, so if they do call a timeout, I mean, they'll have roughly about 20 seconds left if they were to go all the way through. So they still do have somewhat of a shot, but I think from what it looks like right now, Coach Robbie Pruitt is like, hey, this game is probably done.
Just a back-breaking run there for Williston.
we saw the earlier one. I said, man, that's a great run. That one was just, it was 20 times more important to this football game, and I think he just won it.
Well, and everybody knew you were getting the football.
Yeah.
They knew you were running, and for him to be able to do that, break a couple of tackles, really tremendous job by John Adams tonight.
Just so impressed by him, what he did tonight, and not only how he played on offense, Jeff, and how he made those really spectacular runs, but he's been really good on defense. I think he's been equally as good on defense, and that's just, when you got a guy like that, a weapon like that can win you the football game on both sides of the ball, that's invaluable. It's invaluable. It's for that coaching staff, it's invaluable, and it's really fun for us to watch.
So Williston will call their final timeout with just over a minute to go in this ball game. Really good crowd here again tonight. Got to salute everybody for coming out here to Chiefland. The Williston side certainly disappointed for a team that has just dominated the regular season over the last couple of years. Robbie Pruitt and company 21-2 over the last 3 years. But Adam Gore, talking to him before the game, said he loves his kids. They've worked really, really hard in the offseason. He said, don't be surprised if we surprise somebody. And he has certainly done that tonight with his ball club.
Well, I mean, those hot days in the sun make days like this worth it, where you worked your butt off to not only beat a team that has just as much talent as you, maybe a little bit more, but your guys definitely wanted it more. The Chiefland Indians wanted this game more, and I can say that without a question. We saw just the grit of what this offensive line has done here in the fourth quarter, especially what number 21, John Adams, has done here tonight. We talked about Austin Jones, of how good he was. These guys put together a really tough, well-fought victory. It was truly fun to watch.
Well, there you see it. Beat those big red tornado Tigers. People used to call me Big Red until I got old and lost my red hair. Now it's Big Gray.
Well, I mean, it still fits, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
you could go just for
men.
For men.
Yeah.
Is there a red version?
I think so.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
All right, 3rd and 5 here now as Chiefland just tries to run things out. Goodell under center. He'll toss it out to DeMaurice Sweet, trying to get to the outside, still running around, and finally taken down inbounds. Smart to go down inbounds and keep that clock running. Just over a minute now left in the ball game.
Okay, so they'll have about 30 seconds left. They're going to kick. I mean, may try a field goal. They may not. They may just try to run it again. But they're going to have about 30, somewhere between 20 and 30 seconds left to get the ball downfield.
So it looks like Chiefland will call their final timeout after they let the clock go down as far as it can go. Well, Shannon, it's been fun getting back to high school football. I know we've got a 10-game grind throughout the entire season. We'll be a lot of different places throughout North Central Florida, but it's really fun just to be back around the kids. You see the excitement. We were able to visit some of the schools the last couple of weeks, start to watch practice, start to see all the things that these kids are doing, and they're ready to get after it again.
Yeah, we got a good game tonight. We had a nice, hard-fought game tonight, which is nice to see. And Jeff, I always love this time of year where it's it's fall, it's football. The cooler weather where in Florida is probably just a degree cooler. But at the same time is that, it gives these young men the opportunity to be on Friday Night Lights, showcase their talents, and sure enough, both teams here tonight, both Williston and Chiefland have done a phenomenal job of representing what we love about, the football in the South.
And you've got many great players here throughout North Central Florida. We'll see them each and every week on Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals. You've got different coaches. You've got new coordinators at different schools. Everybody moving around trying to do different things. Buchholz certainly will be a force to be reckoned with once again. They've made the Final Four last few years, and they've got another ball club, and we'll see them in a couple of weeks.
And how about that beast out in Hawthorne who's won a couple of state championships with Coach Cornelius Ingram? It's going to be a fun season, Jeff. I can't wait to see what these teams have in store. What they have in store for us.
Yeah, we'll see CI and company next week in Hawthorne. All right, here we go. 4th down, another run. And that one just a few yards for DeMaurice Sweet. So that'll be a turnover on downs with just 12 seconds to go, though, in the ball game. So a miracle is all that Williston has left to try to get back in this thing.
Yeah, no timeouts. You have a long way to go. You have to score a touchdown. You have to get a 2-point conversion. Listen, stranger things have happened. We've all seen them across the course of time, and it'll be a great story right now to see if Williston can do this. But I think Chiefland, who in every right has earned this victory tonight, is going to do everything in their power to make sure that Cinderella story does not happen.
So just 12 seconds to go. There you see Jazikoff, the youngster, making his first start. He'll get it. Some pressure on him once again. They'll get it out there to Jamari Williams. He'll run around for a little bit, finally get out of bounds with about 4 seconds to go. Make it 3 on the scoreboard. So a little bit of breathing room right there, but they're 65 yards away and only 1 play to go after that UF Health OrthoCare first down.
Yeah, this is it. You got to chuck it towards the end zone, do some laterals. There's a couple different options in your bag, but if you're Chiefland, you're going to drop 3 or 4 guys back deep, protect the end zone, have a guy standing almost at the end zone line. Should be no reason that Williston should cross the goal line with a football for the rest of his second.
If you're Chiefland, just keep the band off the field.
Yeah.
Don't let anything crazy happen. All right, here we go. Final play of the game. Jazikoff back to pass. He'll sling one down. Bunch of blue jerseys there. It'll be picked off. That is a great job by Austin Jones. He's had a heck of a game.
Of course.
And Chiefland opens up the 2024 high school football season with a big upset, beating the Williston Rebel Devils tonight 18-10, and a whole bunch of people celebrating here in Chiefland.
This is unbelievable. I mean, anybody has watched the Williston Red Devils over the last couple of years. They haven't been beat during the regular season. They've lost in the playoffs, and they've dominated the competition that they played. They've dominated this Chiefland football team. But tonight, Chiefland can celebrate because they've earned this victory. That man right there, John Adams, just a fun watching you, sir. I love to shake your hand. You've done a great job. You're a big component of why this game was won tonight. Shout out to the coaches, the players, the staff, the community here at Chiefland. Man, this was a great win for them.
Big win for Adam Gore to kick off the season. So a lot of smiles on that Chiefland sideline. And for Williston now, a lot of soul searching. Certainly a lot of mistakes. And you heard Coach Pruitt at halftime really say this is unacceptable and not what they're used to. So they've, after a lot of work this summer, now have to turn it around pretty quick.
It's uncharted territory, Jeff. 2 years that they haven't lost a football game in the regular season, and all of a sudden they lose one. Like, how does your team respond? How do you respond from this very moment? That's going to be very, very interesting to see here for his team in the next couple of weeks.
So both of these teams shake hands. Some sobbing on the Williston side and some celebrating on that Chiefland side as they are ecstatic, and a bunch of parents and family down on the field celebrating this as well. And you see John Adams right there, and we're going to try to find him because he will in fact surprisingly be our Allen Law player of the game. But we talked about next week, and next week we will be in Hawthorne to see Cornelius Ingram and company. Newberry High School makes its way to Hawthorne, so that should be a fun one with Ed Johnson.
And Cornelius Ingram, 2 of the top teams in North Central Florida. Man, Jeff, we're like spoiled. We got a great game here tonight, and we're going to get a really good one next week.
Well, speaking of really good, we have mentioned John Adams' name a million times, sort of referenced it earlier. He was once the president of the United States, and now he can be the president of Chiefland as we head back down to Randy.
Go ahead, do the jump. You want to do it? Go ahead and do the jump.
I'm good. I'm tired.
Okay. Talk about this contest. You were kind of the bookend. You know, you had a great game in between, but you made a statement early. You made a statement late. How big is this win in week number 1?
It's big. It's big. I wouldn't be here without my coaches, family, my teammates, my brothers, everybody, man. Thank you.
Well, talk about it. What did Coach say to you guys at halftime?
He told us to swallow the blood, stay physical, stay relentless, and pick each other up.
When you were in 8th grade, did you ever dream of anything like this?
All the time.
And it's great to share this with the community. Coach Gore said you guys are community-based. You know there's a big commitment for people to come out to these games. What does this mean to the community along with you?
It means a lot, honestly. Like, we're all family around here, and this is why I love Chiefland so much and have not went anywhere, no matter how much money they offer me, no matter what they offer me. I love my family, and I love the community the most.
If you had to pick offense or defense, which would you pick?
Defense all the way, baby. Yes, sir.
John, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What a performance by number 21 and everybody in that Carolina blue tonight in this contest as they get the victory 18-10. Jeff will be back with the entire team in just a moment.
Well, great stuff there, Randy, as Chiefland wins it tonight. And you see not only the team, but all family and friends down there. John Adams with a heck of a day. And as good as he was offensively tonight, for him to say, I want to play defense, that's pretty special. We'll come back with more right after this. Well, fun one tonight to kick off our 2024 high school football season with Allen Law Firm's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Radiant Credit Union. The home team tonight, Chiefland, wins it 18-10, and Randy is somewhere down there amongst the melee with a very happy Chiefland head coach.
All right, Adam, get the baseball business out of the way first. What did you want to say?
Hey, go Gators to Jeff one time. I seen him earlier in the game, so go Gators, Jeff.
All right, let's talk about this game on the gridiron tonight. What are your thoughts? Is the third time a charm for you to come back to lead this team again?
Well, let me just make something clear. Nobody believed that we had a chance tonight except for in that locker room. I'm so proud of the fight in our guys, believing in each other, believing in what we preaching. If they hadn't bought in, I don't know that we'd be where we're at right now. They completely bought in. They did all this tonight. They played hard. We just had to get out of their way, and they earned every bit of credit for this win tonight. They did a great job.
Can you talk about the early and late crescendos by John Adams, what he means to this team?
Well, he's a really good football player, but you know what? There's a lot of really good football players on this team, and there's a lot of them that believe in each other and back John up, and he backs them up too. And so, and that's really the difference in this game. We believed in physical play, we believed in hard play, and we all got to do that. And John knows that, and the rest of the team knows that. So we're extremely proud of that effort and that physicality.
3 prongs: discipline, tradition, and you talked about conditioning too. Did that pay off in the second half?
Absolutely. It was something that the guys knew that we had to do something about, and they came to us and said, hey, let's get a little harder at that. And so we did. We listened and we pushed them, and it helped us here in the fourth quarter and second half.
And Jeff, he comes out of the bullpen again. Now he's 28-9 as a head coach, but most importantly, they are the winners of the Allen Law Firm Friday Night Rivals Championship in week number 1!
Well, Shannon, a lot of fun down there on the field, and give a lot of credit to Adam and the rest of that coaching staff and really this entire community. As he mentioned, I don't think anybody thought that they would be able to pull this thing off, but a lot of grit, a lot of hard work, and certainly a lot of fight tonight, and they were really good.
Yeah, they shut up a lot of the critics, and they did a great job. We talked about John Adams and Austin Jones, and it was the whole team. What they did on defense, what they did gang tackling. There was a bunch of great players out there tonight, and it was a team effort. And if you're Chiefland and you're the community, be proud of these guys because it was fun and they deserved every part of it.
Well, it was fun hanging back out with your ugly mug again.
I appreciate it.
We're in for the long haul, but always great to be talking ball.
You too, brother. Of course, always and forever.
All right, for Shannon and Randy, I am Jeff Cardozo, and all of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful sponsor partners, Allen Law and Radiant Credit Union, who through their contributions to the program make these games possible for the viewers at home. Again, next week, Newberry at Hawthorne. That'll happen next Friday night at 7:30. For our producer, Dustin Gunch, and all the great crew, tons of great cameramen, Caleb out there running around getting us on the air and doing some great things. It was a fun night in Chiefland, led by that guy, John Adams, as the Indians win it 18-10 here on Friday Night Rivals.
Healthcare. And a special thanks to tonight's participating high schools for their continued support.